Okay, yeah, I think... Yeah, that would be the better approach, honestly.
Well,
I'll,
we're gonna say that
I'll
there
go
I
with
is
that.
thought the
there is
part with the hobgoblins, we were leaving. So we were telling the full truth to Well, not the full truth, but we're telling Doru and the church everything. But with the hobgoblins, I thought we were simply focusing on the fact that we got rid of the problem of the hobgoblins with Mayor
well, I
Asher.
still wanted to set it up because I have like it's not even just good for because they were also affected by this great evil and that they were also like hired to come in, and do this. Um, things like that. So I don't know, I thought it was pretty pertinent.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear music now.
Yeah.
It hath
I'll
I'm
do
begun.
trying
it
to
if
be
y'all,
real ambiguous.
if y'all want to blow up Char, we can blow up Char. If y'all want to just, passively figure this out, we can do that too.
I'm gonna go ahead and veto choice A.
Next explosion of char.
Yeah. I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, Ayara's in there, and she's my girl. She just doesn't know it yet. We can't blow her up.
You're Ayara. That's the drow, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You must have a
Alwyn's
thing for
Yeah, Alwyn's got a thing for dark elves.
you must have a thing for Minthara as well in Baldur's Gate.
I haven't even got that far yet. I got the game downloaded and I died on the shore like 3 times, and then I've had a really long couple weeks here, so I haven't
Well,
had
that also
much
depends
time.
on whether Austin's tastes are the same as Alwyn's tastes.
Correct. Yeah, there's a separation of me and the character here. I am not Alwyn.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's his own man.
All right. Yeah, if y'all want to go ahead, I'm almost set up.
All right. Looks like Rhea, it's your turn to scribe. If you're okay scribing today.
Yes, unless someone else is wanting to.
No, I literally got the journal done at 6:20. So.
Quartermasters Clank and Alwyn. Do you want to give us a rundown of last game?
Yeah. So, session 36, 27th of fall, 1 p.m., 11:57, 13th cycle. We rested at 9 a.m. We find Clank getting beat on by the stone golem, who pounds Clank's unconscious body just before Riala rushes forward to try and assist Clank by standing over his prone body and dragging him away from the fists of death. Eldwin and Elric both share the remainder of the fury from the golem as it continues to swing away. Finally, Elric delivers the coup de grace and slays the golem, and the group begins to pick the locks and loot the boxes within the room. Elric and Eldwin find themselves alone in the loot room as Eldwin picks up a box, hearing a click, followed by an explosion of fire that engulfs the room. Tinkling glass is heard as the chest bounces as it settles down. A small argument between Elric and his mace transpires as Elric moves to harvest essence from the golem, and Clank re-enters the room to investigate the chests further. Short rest is taken as the party prepares to dispel the magic on the rest of the chests in the room, and a balm of peace settles over the group, and Ophelia closes the doors to the hallway. 2:15 p.m. Elric casts Dispel Magic on 2 of the chests, and Ophelia checks the chests for additional traps. Inside the chest, the party finds, and I've listed everything that was found, shattered glass, potion goo, all that good stuff. After a healthy loot haul from the room, a door down the hallway is opened, and a large main library is discovered, with more stone golems seen standing at the ends of the bookcases. 3 hours is spent there in searching through the books, discovering some things about portals, a recipe for a potion of climbing, arcana books about demons, At 5:35 p.m., the group departs the library and forces open a door into a bedroom, finding a skeleton lying on the floor where Ophelia goes for a bounce on the dusty old bed. The group proceeds to toss the room like college kids on summer break. During this total disregard for the dead in their bedroom, that was clearly labeled Keep Out, Clank hops into the room and his detect magic goes off, indicating a presence above the bed in the form of an arcane scrying eye. This sobers the party quickly, as they then attempt to show some sort of respect to whoever may be watching. Easily distracted as they are, the group squabbles about Elric still having random conversations with himself. Somehow Elric ends up on the floor, and in a typical fashion of ADD, the group decides they want to go back to the other library, and Eldwin proceeds to drag Elric out of the room along with the rest of the party, and surprise, accompanied by the eye. This unsettles the party, and they start running amok trying to see who the eye is following. Frustrated, the group decides to leave. The group discusses where to go next and decides to go to a cave near the town that Alwyn remembers seeing. At 8:30 p.m., the group arrives at the cave and decides to settle down for the night, and Ophelia drops the curse Riala was carrying. The captain of the guard arrives at the cave in the middle of the night and begins to question the party after he recognizes them. The conversation shortly turns to asking about Eldwin, and the party gets very evasive, trying to get rid of the captain to let them sleep. The guard pointedly asks about Eldwin and insists that they want to search the cave. Ophelia feigns tiredness and starts stripping down in an attempt to further deflect the guards as they walk in to inspect the cave. Riala casts Reduce on Eldwin, causing further unease with the situation. The group is now in full panic mode as Elric tells Eldwin to play dead under the blanket, and Clank challenges the guard one last time. Eldwin squirms around trying to hide further in his now 4-foot form as the guards spot him. The size and the dwarven speech used by Eldwin puts the guards off as they were looking for a 7-foot-plus man. 28th of fall. The group wakes up the next morning, and Clank works on a disguise for Eldwin and goes for a merchant with a festival mask, hoping that will somehow be less suspicious. The team meets with Elric shortly after and completes the rest of the disguise to the best of their ability. Doing all the damage that they can, they prepare to head towards town, rapidly conversing plans for how to fix the Eldwin debacle. Ayara then arrives as well, and a conversation regarding the current state of things ensues, involving tactics to placate this issue further.
All right. Thank you for that recap. So it is the 28th of fall at 9:30 in the morning. You said you just went into town, is that right?
We haven't got there yet, I believe. We were still outside of town getting ready to go towards town with Ayara, and Elric now returned.
All right. So yeah, Ayara, that's right, she came to the cave. So yeah, are you gonna go to town? Are you gonna head back to the crypt? What does the group want to do? I do still have you as being in the cave.
I think Alwyn would say, I think we have our preparations set, do we not, Ophelia?
I think the only question was whether we're all going or if we were going to split up in any way. Like, is Eldwin coming into town with the main group, or were we going to try? I don't know. What was the specific logistics? Or did we discuss that?
Talked about disguising him.
Yeah, I mean we did. We
We
got
have
him a
disguised
cloak, right,
him
and a
now,
mask,
yeah.
but he's still a 7-foot man. Yeah, he's still a 7-foot humanoid walking
Furball.
with two people that are recognizably members of the Holy Trinity. Yeah. Well, that's why I said humanoid.
It's
not. Yeah.
It's on business though. I mean, I bought him that nice fancy merchant cloak and that festival mask. He'll be fine.
And how much did you say you paid for that disguise?
It was, I think, 6 gold.
Oh,
Something
okay,
like
just
that.
checking. Okay. Alwyn
Well, I only
eyes
meant
Clank.
I only meant that anyone with half a brain who has met this group before would, and is looking for Eldwin or knows of Eldwin would assume that a 7-foot man walking with Clank and Ophelia is him. That was my only assumption. Or a 7-foot
Pers-
individual, whether they can see whether he's a furbolg or not. Yeah.
This is coming from me. Why don't we just tell the truth? What's wrong
Well,
with
that's
that?
what we
What?
plan to do. But if we,
Are you okay?
that was the whole plan. The entire plan. That's why we're here, is to tell the truth. But if we walk in with an individual who's wanted, then there's going to be arrests before we have a chance to talk to anyone. That was the entirety of the plan, was to
So do we
not
leave?
have him arrested before we have a chance to have our meetings.
So do we leave Alduin in
Right.
the woods?
Well, I could reduce him if you mentioned you have a trusted innkeep and a place you stay in town. I mean, this is of course up to Eldwin, but I could reduce him again, and we could go and lodge in those rooms, and perhaps not have him moving about the town quite so obviously, or at least not entering the town quite so obviously.
How long does your reduce last, though? I thought last night it was pretty short-lived, and thankfully the guards left right before it wore off.
You may be right. I was thinking it was an hour, but actually, you're right. It might be much shorter. Let's see.
I just would hate for our disguise to fall
Yeah.
apart as we cross the threshold of the main gates.
Let me look here. I was thinking, and this is probably more out of character, that I forgot how long the spell lasts, but let's see here. Here it is.
We're full tilt in character.
Oh, you're right.
tonight.
It's 1 minute. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Never mind. Then that probably wouldn't work. But I just wanted to make sure that we all kind of think about that, because the original plan was that we were going to find a good place to camp where he couldn't possibly be seen, and go in without him, and then bring him in once we'd had a chance to at least give the rest of the facts on the situation before, they immediately jump on him.
And my apologies on that, Riala. I did not realize from memory how close that cave was to town. I will own that. But I agree. I think
It was a very dark night. It was a new moon, so we didn't notice the walls until we were extremely close.
correct. So where you at on this, Eldwin? What do you think, buddy?
I think it'd be best if I stayed in the cave for now.
But you're so big and this cave is so small. I'd rather you with us.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Do we have? What else do we have any? Well,
Too
and that was
bad
the
you
other
couldn't
reason
turn into an insect like Riala and I could just pack you in my coin purse again.
That's partially why I mentioned the possibility of splitting up, not to be split up long term, but again, for entering the town, because Ophelia and Clank are recognizable members of the Holy Trinity, and Eldwin has the stature that he has. It makes us as a group just more likely to be instantly recognizable, whereas maybe the 7-foot disguised man with people that the townsfolk haven't seen before, like Rhea and I believe Alwyn and Elric, you joined after they left Char, is that correct?
Did we instead
Yeah.
send an emissary in town and put
yeah.
things in place so that we can get passage from the guards without an issue before we can talk to the people we need to?
Gotcha. Okay. Well, anyway, I was just thinking, maybe
Our
for
size.
the end, maybe
I
for
agree.
Kyara,
the
do you have a secret passage to bring Eldwin to the inn?
Well, I think I can sneak him into town. I don't guarantee it, but it's a possibility.
But again, Eldwin has expressed that it might be best if he would feel most comfortable staying outside of town.
Thus the emissary.
I assume I would be the emissary, she says.
If we could trouble you. He brushes off his armor a little bit.
emissary to who?
This word emissary, what does it mean?
We send somebody in
agent,
town
representative?
to go and talk to either the mayor or whoever else that you and Ophelia feel we need to talk to about this, and get a meeting set up. That way we have things in place. But if
Okay.
Eldwin would prefer to stay here, we might not need to do that then, and we can go in as a party unless somebody wants to stay here with Eldwin.
I've grown fond of this big furry man. I'll stay.
Okay, well, how do you feel about that, Eldwin? Hang out here with Elric, and we'll see what we can do to fix this Eldwin debacle.
Or at least to negotiate like a safe entrance for
passive.
Eldwin to continue the talks with him present. Yeah.
Are you okay, Ophelia? You've been awfully quiet.
She's over there snorting crack.
She must still be sleeping.
Mikey's trying not to.
Mic check, Mikey.
He's gone.
You can hear him running
Can you
back
guys
to
hear
the-
me
That
now?
Robitussin and
Yeah.
NyQuil kicked in. There you are.
Hey, that makes more sense.
I was like, God, I am like really carrying this here. I don't talk a lot. Where is Ophelia?
I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're just obviously interacting, with Alwyn. That's cool.
What's your Mike?
Not my
next up?
role.
So, yeah, I am okay with that. I think probably the best plan would be for Alduin to stay out here, at least until we have an initial discussion and see what the reactions are. I fear that if they are not taken poorly, which, I'm not hoping for, but, hope for the
Right.
best, prepare for the worst kind of mentality, it would be a lot easier to escape and try to renegotiate at another time if he is already outside city walls.
Yeah.
Well,
And you
aren't
wouldn't even
you? Go ahead.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Iris says, "Aren't you all friends with a criminal lord or something? I mean, couldn't she just keep him hidden? Do we even need to tell anyone that he's here?"
Do we want to
Well,
give
the
a bargaining
difficulty with
chip to someone
keeping
else?
him hidden is, well, that and like we have to walk through the gates. So like the whole keeping him hidden part is a challenge right from the start, unless there is some secret passage where he could be smuggled in.
I could probably get him into town unnoticed, Iara says. I mean, I have been able to get into town several times. How are you at climbing?
I can climb okay.
She says, I kind of know the guard's rotation, and I know a weak spot where we could sneak in while they're not looking. Usually it's at night, though.
I normally have people for that,
So,
so good at it.
well, I'm just offering. I could probably get him into town unnoticed, and maybe your thief lord contact could give him someplace secretive to stay. Then you wouldn't even have to worry about any of this.
Well, and if we have a base at a inn, then and if we were to bring him in by cover of night, we could bring him to the lodgings.
Put him
where
in
you guys have your
in a-
base.
In a room in the inn, and then we could always have the meeting in our main room, the stronghold, and then we
Here
can.
is here is my one attempt at persuasion, or at least persuading you. What if I go to this church and I spin a tale about how, yes, Alduin may have killed the clergy, but it was under the orders of this shadow being that we've been able to destroy and come back and look like we're heroes.
Rather than connecting Eldwin to murder, why don't we focus on the fact that he was possessed, and it was the thing that was possessing him that killed.
Exactly. That's where I'm going.
Ophelia kind of laughs and goes, "You think the church is going to believe you?"
I'm very persuasive.
I thought we had agreed not to spin tales.
Oh, did we? Oh, well, last night I may have. Oh no.
Elric, what did you do?
I may have, made myself look like the hero. But, I was just
And
spinning.
nobody's surprised.
Well,
I
I
truly appreciate that, Elric. I hate being the center of attention.
well, then that worked out great.
The firelight sure is cast now.
Mm. And then I'm playing with cards with Ray, and she's winning. So
He's devious. You should have known better than that.
damn it.
Well, my suggestion would be to avoid suspicion by just keeping him hidden. And then again, I was never much of a talker, Iara says. But
As long
What
as-
do we do should they send a scouting party out here to check the cave that we just vacated?
Perhaps find a different camp.
Sounds like an Elric and Elduin problem.
I can handle that. I can handle that.
He's pretty smooth when he wants to be.
Oh no, I thought we were gonna kill him, but I
It
can do
was
that.
like a pine cone.
The statement still stands.
well,
That's
you
We
mine.
probably shouldn't kill them.
I'm probably gonna wait till sundown to go back in the town, so I can help kill them if we need to.
See, it works out
We shouldn't
perfectly.
be killing them, Iara.
I'm
She
confused.
shrugs.
I don't really have any particular attachment to the humans of this town, but I thought that the party was looking to ally yourselves here. I'm really confused by the conflicting mission objectives and
Thank you, Rhea.
plans to go about them.
Yes, let's go talk to the town and put this to bed. We have it set.
I agree.
Elduin and Elric, make yourselves scarce.
All right.
And it sounds like you guys have Iara to help if you need. Well, let's hope it's not killing
Until-
guards, but you know,
Until
to help.
nighttime.
Yeah, yeah.
Elric, please try not to kill people.
I will try not to.
Thank you. I know that's all I can ask.
Alright, so everyone but Elric and Elduin are going to town?
Isn't Ayara staying out because she was waiting to go back in tonight?
Yeah, she'll be out here too.
Yeah, as long as Eldwin is okay with that. I always hate to make you go wait, but in character, I think it makes sense.
Well, yeah.
Exigent circumstances.
I will be fine.
We love you.
Love you.
Do we
too.
have a way to contact these two?
I can send
Yeah,
them a message.
Elric's the
if
one
I
with
need
the
to.
message. Oh, okay.
Great.
Good.
The other I do.
You have sending as well.
I do.
Oh,
not.
yeah. I've got the bird.
Oh, perfect. Well, I have, a spell. Paler granted me that. I don't need a bird.
Yeah, some of us aren't blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Alright. So the group heads into town. The guards greet you at the gate, allowing you entrance as they know who you are, and ask you more about what happened with the Iron Tide, if you want to spend time talking to them. Also, I'm still a little bit sick, so my apologies. I'm still
You and me
recovering.
both.
Yeah.
Really, I feel it.
All right. So you avoid answering them and just kind of go into town.
Yeah. Say, I'm sorry, we don't have time right now.
Just that's fine. I was just curious, but I've heard that the Iron Tide had been taken care of. Is that true?
We have
They
reports
haven't-
that need to be made to the proper people, sir.
Oh yes, of course. I'll
Oh, yeah,
let you
sorry.
go about your business then.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day. As he
Uh.
shoves Ophelia forward.
All right. So where are you headed?
I guess the first would be, since we're right here, is the barracks.
You guys mentioned possibly knowing someone wise that you trust that could perhaps give us counsel. We don't necessarily have to go to him
Doru.
first.
I would absolutely suggest we go to Doru and the church first.
I don't know that the order is necessary. It may not be important.
If we're
but,
just gonna say,
if-
let's just say
yeah.
an hour, and we can meet them
Yeah.
at the Maplewood Inn.
Yeah.
So you go into the barracks here. Who are you looking to
Were
speak
we
with?
going to the barracks? I thought we were.
Captain Grove.
Oh, cool.
That's what you just
Yeah, I
said, right? You
misunderstood
wanted
that
to go to
too.
the barracks?
Yeah.
And
Yep. Captain
the
Grove
mayor and
first.
Captain Grove. I think they're both should be here.
All right.
I thought we
Yeah.
were going to Doru first.
Well, Dora will
Uh,
be on the way.
do you want to go to Doru first?
Yes.
Nah, we're here. Order of
Cool.
operations.
Getting mixed signals here. So, all right. So we are going to the barracks first because we're right here.
I think I'm going to meander around the town like I'm a tourist and not necessarily stick close to the party. I don't necessarily want to be recognized as one of the Holy Trinity yet, so I'm going to leave you guys to your thing at the barracks.
My coin purse is here when you need a spot to come home to.
So Riala kind of separates and looks around town, while the rest of you go to the barracks. So inside, there's a bunch of guards doing their, daily duties. A couple of them recognize the group, say, the Trinity's here. And there's a couple of cheers from some of the guards there.
Thank you. We're looking for Grober and the mayor. Have you seen them?
Yeah, let me, well, you just talk to the woman at the front desk there, but I'll go see if Captain Grobe is here. He should just be in the back.
Thank you.
So a few minutes would pass when Captain Grobe, who you're familiar with, comes out. He says, hello again, friends. My apologies for the ordeal last night. I hope you all were able to rest and recuperate in your cave.
Yes, my apologies for the gruffness last night. I was a little tired.
Nods and says, well, the mayor should be out shortly, but while we wait, is there anything you needed to speak to me about?
We wish to
I
have
don't think
a
so.
council meeting in about an hour. We were wondering if you could meet us at the Mapleside Inn.
The Maplewood?
Yeah.
Uh,
Mapleside.
yeah, is this about what happened with the Iron Tide?
There's a lot I think that needs to be discussed, and I'd like for everyone to be there. So I only have to give the talk once. You understand?
He says, could we have the talk here by any chance? Just because it would be easier for the mayor and myself as we're a bit busy.
I mean, it is possible if that would be better for you. I was just thinking it would be best to probably stay in a neutral spot that, could be away from prying ears.
Ophelia, what do you mean neutral? We are all friends here.
Give me a persuasion.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it really a persuasion, though?
What do you want to use if not persuasion?
I don't know. Sure.
Are you not persuading him?
I guess I am.
Alright. So he says, well, if you worry about prying ears, there are places in the barracks that are less crowded, where we could have this meeting. But if it's important to you, I think we could accommodate. I mean, you did help save the town from destruction. Let's see what the mayor has to say. I know she's more busy than I am right now, planning for the caravans, the new caravans that are finally coming in. So while you are standing there waiting, a familiar figure comes walking past from the back. Where is it? I didn't know you all were back in town, Lord Blackwater says, as he comes back from the back areas of the barracks. He says, we were just talking about you all at the meeting I was at.
You were?
He smiles.
Oh, nice. Nice to see you again, Lord Blackwater. How have you been?
He says, I've been busy, but I've been well. Tell me, how did the journey fare?
It fared all right. We learned a lot.
He nods. He says, were you able to deal with the invader issue? Are the
The invader
mercenaries driven
issue.
away?
The invader
Yes.
issue has been dealt with.
Yes, they are driven away.
Captain Grove says, "Oh, Lord Blackwater, good morning to you." Says, "Grove, it's good to see you. Still keeping everything secure, I hope." And he says, "Oh yes, always doing my best anyway." And actually, a little bit behind Blackwater, you would see the mayor come walking out. She says, "Friends, I'm so happy to see you're alive and well."
Oh, you too, Mayor. I was wondering, do you have a moment that we could discuss in private?
She says, "Ah, yes. In fact, I was hoping to get a moment to get updated on the happenings of your journey." Blackwater would say, "Is this a private meeting?"
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. We're not trying to be disrespectful. I know you do a lot of good for the town. But there's things that we just need to discuss with, maybe just the mayor at certain times. I'm sure you understand.
Give me a persuasion.
With
But
advantage, house rules.
I do need to discuss it with the mayor.
You do. Let's see how Blackwater takes that.
Oh.
I was
Fair.
like,
Persuading him
oh
not to be
shit.
suspicious or offended.
As soon
Exactly.
as Blackwater walked in, I'm like, oh damn.
Oh, now.
So he regards you for a moment. He says, "Indeed. Well, I just hope you will have some time later to speak with myself and my people. I think that you'd agree that the outcome of your journey is very important to the town and for us in our continuing business endeavors."
I'm sure they are.
He says, "So I will leave you all to it then. Please stop by my manor at your earliest convenience." And he gives
Will
you
do.
a smile and a polite bow. Uh, good morning to you, Trinity, as he walks out.
Good morning to you, sir, as Alwyn bows slightly as well.
The mayor would say, "I'm surprised you didn't want Blackwater to attend. I thought you all were working with him. At least that's what he led me to believe."
Attend what, Mayor?
"Oh, our meeting."
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, it's just from, for us to talk.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know Blackwater is too busy to hear about your family and how they're doing. But we were simply sharing pleasantries with each other.
And she nods, and Captain Grove says, "I believe they wanted us to have the meeting over at the Maplewood to keep things quiet." She would look to Grove and say, "Oh, well, we have private areas here where we could talk if you wish privacy. We don't have to have our meeting in the middle of the lobby here."
I was hoping for some
pull the
drinks.
other.
I'm still nursing a hangover from last night.
Give me a persuasion with advantage. I'll say anyone who's talking can roll this.
Hey, we'll take it.
That's pretty
So
good.
she nods and says, "Fair enough. It's a little unorthodox, but I think you've earned the right to make unorthodox requests with all you've done to help us."
I
So,
appreciate you, Mayor.
oh yes, of course. When will you be free to have this meeting?
Would an hour or so from now work? Have a
She
couple other
says,
people we would need to catch up with quick.
Yes, that'll work fine. So we'll see you there around 10:30 then at the Maplewood Inn. It's been a while since I've been there, actually. It'll be interesting to see what's become of the place.
Sounds great. We'll see you then.
So her and Grobe bow and take their leave. What do you want to do?
Heave a sigh of relief.
And
That wasn't who we wanted to meet.
Yeah, continue walking down to, I guess, the town center where we can see Melody, Shock, and Doru.
All right, so you go to the town center. You would see.
Should we check in with what's his name? Who's the little halfling?
Bernie.
Vernie. Should we check in with Vernie to see if we could, just secure a room there? I know we already have one, but
You'd
yeah.
like to, I think so.
A meeting room.
Just
do that.
check in and say, hey, what's up, Vernie? Good to see you, bud.
Yeah.
We're entertaining folks that you're in an hour. Yeah, just you know.
About to run.
So if you go
Bombard
to the Maplewood, Vernie is excited to see you. He says, "Of course, I have room for my favorite guests, the Holy Trinity. I will get your usual suite accommodations, I assume."
You're too kind,
Yeah.
Vernie.
We can't wait to share our stories with you. You'll definitely enjoy hearing about all of them.
Says, "Well,
Vernie, would you like to join us on this meeting that we're going to have as well?
Me? Oh, I'm."
Hear a little bit about the stories of our adventures.
Says, I'm a bit busy running the counter, but I'm sure once you tell them, the villagers will all start telling them, and I'll hear of them. I appreciate the offer, though.
I think it's important that we tell you directly and you hear this.
He
This is from one
seems.
of our most trusted friends, and I think your presence would be appreciated.
Oh?
I'm sure that you've got somebody else to watch the counter, don't you? There's plenty of good hands around here.
Just for like half an hour, it'll be fine.
Give me a persuasion.
Ooh. Am I doing this again? All right.
Either of you.
Yeah, I'm doing it again.
You gotta carry, bud.
Oh my lord.
He says, there's a lot going on with the caravan coming in. How about we just talk later? Or if you have something important to tell me, you could just tell me now. You could let me know.
Other than I love your furry boots.
As well. Everyone
we're
loves
simply
the boots.
offering an opportunity to join in a meeting with some of the town leaders. We view you as an important part to the development of Char.
Give me a persuasion with advantage. Says, oh, really? I do like the word opportunity. Oh, jeez.
Yes, there's plenty of opportunity to be had.
Later.
Come on, Vern.
We can definitely catch up later. Now might not be the best opportunity.
He says, well, yeah, tell you what, how about tonight, after I get everything settled and everyone's settled in, I can maybe come speak to the group separately.
Sounds good. We'll play a game of dice.
He nods and says, I assume you want to rent your normal meeting room for the meeting? Your private room?
Yeah, you want to square up for that now?
Yeah, so is anyone living, so that would be...
4? Yes.
You would have to be living above the normal lifestyle.
We were all living comfortable, and I think that's why he just gave us the room to use.
Yeah, so as long as, if you're all living comfortable, then yeah. I mean, we don't have to pay the money now, that's part of your lifestyle stuff. That's at the end of the day. But yeah, we'll say, like, you guys exchange gold, and he gives you keys to your private room.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I look forward to hearing about this opportunity. All right,
Sounds good. We'll catch up with you here soon.
Yeah. Glad to see you again, Bernie.
Yes, it's good to see all of you too. So you are going to the marketplace. At this point, it's about 10 o'clock.
We said, what, 10:30 for the meeting?
Yeah, he said an hour.
So now that this is happening, I am going to cast would have been better earlier, but that's fine. I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability,
Okay.
and I am going to obviously do Charisma
Where are you
Witchcraft.
casting this?
on myself.
I mean, like you
As he
doing it.
starts casting it in the
Oh.
street, Clank is gonna
No, I'm
yank
gonna
him
go.
into
I'm
an
gonna go into the
alleyway.
room once Bernie gives it for us, and just do it in the back room.
All right,
Real
so
quick.
you move to someplace more private and do enhance ability, which will last up to an hour. So you get that at
Because we're
10
getting them at
o'clock.
10:30, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, where are you going next?
Melody and Shock.
All right. So you go
That
to.
hour timeline is pretty tight. We still have to
I would
convince the
say
clergy.
let's focus on the clergy and Doru. Maybe in that order.
I
The
think
clergy might be.
Melody and Shock, yeah, would be a real easy talk.
Yeah, so
Be real
save that for
quick.
later.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
well, I guess we'll go to
I would hate to get through some quick talks before we.
Yeah, we definitely need the clergy there.
All right. So you go to the Paler Shrine. There are several priests going about their usual daily routines.
Alwyn hangs back to let Ophelia take the lead in Palor's Shrine.
Priest John. I don't know who's the two most prominent people within there that I would know.
So
Billy
you
and Bob.
recognize a couple of people there. One of which actually is Gregory Duvall, the extremely famous priest who's currently working for Lord Blackwater. You see him helping do some holy rituals. I think you met him
Let's not
before, right?
interrupt him. I don't know that we have. That doesn't ring a bell
Yes,
for
we
me.
have.
I did.
We have.
I
don't think
actually
Alwyn has.
only Clank
Yeah.
sat down and the others were at the
So yeah,
we have met.
Gregory Duvall is there, and also like you do recognize several of the other priests who you've been in contact with before.
I look over at Clank.
Father Duvall.
I say, probably not Father Duval, right? As I whisper to him.
He will.
He
Out
does
of
work for
character, I
Blackwater.
can't remember. Okay, I can't remember if we knew he worked for Blackwater or not.
Yeah, we do know that.
Cool.
He is a very prominent priest of the church. He, as far as you know, is working for Blackwater. Yeah, he's been paid to help Blackwater with his most recent thing.
Part of me wonders if he just doesn't know and would benefit from knowing, or if he actually has an allegiance there.
I do agree
Let's
with
not
that.
put too many risks in the way.
Okay.
Maybe keep it simple.
All right. So
leave the part about Blackwater out.
So you attempt to speak to some of the other priests there.
I want to find two of the higher ranking ones.
Sure. So they do recognize you. One of them greets you. He says, "Welcome back, friends. It's been a bit."
Hello, fellow. How are you doing?
He says, "I'm doing well. It's just getting things ready for our mass in a few hours."
I am actually here on a mission, I believe, from Palor, and I am requiring two high priests to attend a meeting that we're going to be having in about half an hour at the Maplewood.
He seems a little bit surprised. What is this in regards to?
We'll say for the safety and future of Char. And I believe that you would want to have a keen role in protecting the town and its citizens, so I think you may benefit from attending this meeting.
Does this have to do with the mercenary group that you drove off recently?
It does. There's a couple things to do with. It has to do with the attack. It has to do with the mercenary group. It has to do with the Iron Tide and the overall benefit of Char.
He says, what of the ally of yours who had killed one of our people? Was he ever caught?
That will also be discussed at the meeting.
Give me.
I'll pull Ophelia aside and say, maybe it's best to discuss this isolated away from others.
As I say,
He says, oh, go ahead.
I would pull Ophelia out of earshot of the other priests.
In the middle of their conversation?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yoink.
yeah, oh, all right.
Might we want to discuss this with the church? Isolated from the others?
I think they should be there to hear it as well.
Well, they are going to hear it right now.
Yeah, but I'd like them for there to be there to hear and see everybody's reactions and witness everything firsthand.
Cool. If that's what, yeah, go for it.
So yeah, okay. So I go back and say, yeah, as I was continuing.
He says, yeah, I guess we could send some people to get word of what's going on. You said this was at the Maplewood?
At 10:30, if you would
Says,
please.
oh, that's no time at all. All right, yeah, we'll try to have some people go in before in a half hour from now.
Okay. I appreciate it, and we will talk to you soon.
He nods and goes back to work.
All right. Melody and Shock. Sorry, I thought an hour was going to give us more time to go meet everybody and not be rushed for time.
Not rush us. Yeah, I didn't realize how big the town was.
I was considering speaking up, but then I was like, Ria's not there, so an hour it is.
All right. So where are you going?
That's why I thought we were telling the church everything right then, rather than pulling them back to a meeting later. But
we already kicked that bucket.
Yeah. That nest's been kicked.
All right. So you go to Doru's stall. He, of course, recognizes you all. Says, my good friends, the Holy Trinity. Welcome.
Doru! And I run up and give him a big hug.
Well, hello again, young one. You've been gone for a while. I would like to hear of your journeys. I got
perfect timing.
He says I had heard that you and your friends were back in town. There's a lot of whispers about your group and what you've done.
Well, that's actually partly why I'm here, Doru.
What have you heard?
Just that you have taken care of the Iron Tide, and that
we did.
The area is now safe and secure.
Relatively.
He says,
I will.
Go.
But yeah. Ophelia, what were you saying?
I was saying perfect timing, Doru, because we are actually going to be talking about our adventures here shortly, and we feel that your presence is required.
Ophelia, might we share this with him now rather than later?
How much time
we
do
have
I have
time?
to talk?
Yeah.
You are probably running low on time at this point. You probably have about 15 minutes.
Okay. I guess I am going to just tell him that we have come into.
Well, Ophelia, don't you have a letter?
I do.
Why don't you let Doru read that?
Okay.
And then,
so before I give it the speech to everybody else that I wrote out, I'm going to hand him the parchment and let him read it real quick.
All right. What does the letter say?
I posted it in the chat, but I'll read it for you really quick. Take away from. I don't know if I want to read it. I'll just say basically, it basically tells the truth of everything that we've experienced. There are some things that we're going to omit during the speech, but for the better part of it, we are going to be completely honest with Doru. So we're going to tell him about information we found out Blackwater, what happened with the Iron Tide, how we actually formed an alliance with them and released the prisoners, how we are forming an alliance because we think it's for the betterment of everything, and how that we have evidence to suggest that Blackwater may be responsible for the Iron Tide being there.
So there's quite a bit on this letter then.
There is.
Yes.
All
Can't
right,
be
so
casually late.
he starts reading through it all. Are you gonna wait for him to finish?
I think we need the letter to read off of.
Yeah. Yeah, I wait for him to finish. It's literally like 2 pages in my notes. Like
So,
a page.
is there anything
just
you're
summary spaces.
omitting from the things that have happened?
With Doru? No.
All right, so he reads through it, saying this is quite a tale.
And
Look at their heads.
we need your wisdom and input for a meeting here based on everything, and you are going to be privy to some information that the rest of the group will not be. And I want you to use your wisdom and expertise to help guide us.
Oh, he says there's a lot to take in. What wisdom or guidance did you need?
One is for the betterment of Char, and making sure that we are going to not cause any destructive ripples based on sharing information, and how the town may or may not be receptive to some facts within this.
Doru, also, out of character. I can't remember if he's told us he used to be a part of the Phoenix Guild,
He did.
or we've seen. Okay. Then Clank would ask, do you have any contacts in the Phoenix Guild still?
I have friends who I still speak to from time to time. I wouldn't say I'm actively a part of the Phoenix Guild anymore, but I mean, I still know people who are involved. Says, but the Phoenix Guild is far away from here, like weeks even.
This might be something they may be interested in hearing about.
What part?
All of it. We talk about the great evils also in there that we fought and faced, like the sects of, druids, and the evils that we've come across, shadowy dungeons, voices speaking to us, calling for power.
Well, there are some concerning parts of your story, but I don't know if any of them would bring the Phoenix Guild here. You speak of the Crimson Dagger. Is that who you're talking about?
Well, I think the bigger concern is we have one of the members of the Tarubian Council's family who has been acting quite suspiciously.
He says, well, do you have any hard evidence of Blackwater's involvement in any of this?
Hard evidence? No, we have hearsay.
He says,
we do have letter.
We have the note. We do have the note from Blackwater.
To
Orchard, I think, right?
Yeah.
He says, do you have a way of proving that it was written by Blackwater's hand?
That might be a question that we also come to you for. If there might be a spell to divine such things.
He says, there are possible magics to help with your case. I don't know if it's wise to make accusations of Blackwater without definite proof. Politically
We're not
speaking,
going to call him by name. This is just for your ears.
I
he says,
think
well,
Doru speaks wise here, Ophelia. We should not make accusations that we cannot substantiate.
he says, are you sure that he is the one who did these things?
There is strong suspicion supporting it, and I think it is important that we at least be aware and find the veracity of these claims rather than just rushing it off. It is better to be safe than sorry.
Well, my advice would be to not, and you can tell that Doru's tone has changed a bit at this point. He says, my advice would be to not even mention these claims to the mayor or any of the people who you're going to talk to. I would not speak of Blackwater or of this person, unnamed person, unless you are ready to make accusations.
Are you worried that the mayor's compromised?
Says Blackwater is quite a presence in this town, as he funds a lot of the projects of the town and has done a lot for the town financially. His family has helped bring a lot of money to this place, and he has a lot of loyalty here. So, to make this accusation could anger some people, especially if you
I
don't
think
have definite proof.
that is very wise, Doru. Um we truly appreciate and trust your input. Is there anything we can do for you?
Says no. I've been enjoying my retirement here. I'm glad I was able to survive all that happened with the Iron Tide, and the town came through it unscathed. He says, I think you've already done enough for me in this town.
We still appreciate you, Doru.
He says, and I you. So that would be my only counsel, is if you're going to even hint that Blackwater may have done something, you do it only to people you know that he is, or that do not like him. I don't know if the mayor is someone you should tell that to. At least not until you have definite proof of his guilt. And even then you could be making an enemy, as he is a very heavy funder of this town. Him and his mother.
That seems wise.
I thank you, Dory. That's part of the reason. Would you still come to the meeting?
Says yes, although we don't have much time. I'll gather my
Yes.
things and meet you at the Maplewood.
Let us make
I think-
haste.
Okay. So you have about 10 minutes. Where else are you going?
Just Shock and Melody.
Alright, so if you go to Melody's shop, she is there. She is very happy to see you, alive and well. You don't see Shock with her, though. She says, friends, you're alive. She runs up and gives you a hug.
Melody, do you know where Shock is? As I give her a huge hug back.
Oh, I'm sure he's around. He came back to town a few days telling everyone of what you all had done. Saving those people.
Do you know
How-
where he
how
is
are
currently?
I
Is
believe
recovered?
they're all well. They've returned to their families, and they as well have spread tale of the group and all you've done. So you've got quite a name brewing for yourself here in Char.
Well, we are
Well,
trying.
we hope to spread good.
So you've
That's all we
done
want.
quite a bit of good already. So yeah, welcome back to town. Do you need anything? Some potions, maybe?
I need you and Shock to join us for 10 minutes. Sorry, this is such short notice. Can you please come to a meeting with us? We need your support. She
Oh,
chuckles a little bit.
I suppose I could close the shop for a bit. I don't know where Shock is. I'm I'm surprised you didn't see him at the Maplewood.
I don't know where he got off to.
He also could be helping out some of the people who he brought back. I know that several of them were having a hard time. So,
I'm just gonna do a sending message to him real quick.
all right. What are you sending him?
And I say, tell him he has nice boots. No. Sharon, okay. I'm gonna type it real quick.
All right. Actually, give me like a minute to go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, guys, when Alwyn first used the orange text in the chat, I thought he was saying Alwyn yelleth, like as like some old way of saying
I have
something.
yelleth my name.
But then when I saw it the second time, I was like, oh, that must be the character's full name. Because it's not under your portrait like some of the other last names, which is fine. But like I hadn't noticed Alwyn's last name before.
That's great.
That was the process my brain went through just now.
I really enjoyed the dialogue between Elric and Eldwin. That Eldwin, I just
Right.
imagine him sitting there just stone still, watching the entrance of the cave, doing exactly what we asked of him. And Elric's back there just being like this annoying kid on a plane.
Yeah.
Like doing.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna get to the point like Yoda that Elric asks him enough questions, he just sighs and dies.
Also, thank you, Mikey, for carrying that conversation.
Yeah, I was like trying to figure out where to interject, and I'm like, I'm gonna let him keep carrying this. This is more than I've talked in a long time. So I'm like, I wasn't here for this. I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, I really like.
It's fun. It's
I
fun to
really
watch
like.
do this.
I almost made out of character suggestions once or twice, like the hour thing. But I was like, okay, you know what? I was way too
Lesson
invested
learned.
last week. Rhea is here as an observer. Let me just like try and.
Riala turns into an owl, and she's like hooting out the time, 10 hoots.
Yeah. No. She's gonna. I haven't decided if she's gonna. She might actually not join you guys in the meeting. She might just leave it up to you guys to, and she might. I don't know. I was debating whether or not she would kind of watch the common room and just kind of see
From a
if there was
spider.
anyone. Well,
I was gonna
like
say it
see if
might
there
not be a
was.
bad idea to like
See if there
morph or
was-
just blend in somewhere and see in case something erupts.
Exactly.
We'd love to have you on backup.
Well, I was thinking like she could just kind of watch like in the marketplace and in the common room at the inn, and just as you guys are moving about the town and having this meeting, whether there's anyone else that seems to be taking an interest.
Ah, that's wise.
Smart.
Because we
'Cause I
still
mean-
do have the blood hand to deal with.
Yeah.
Kinda.
All right. I'm
So that
back.
was kind of my thought. Yeah.
I said, Shock, we desperately need your help at Maplewood Inn in 10 minutes. Can you please join us there? It's important.
He would send back on my way.
Okay. Shall we, Melody? Or do you want me to stare shortly?
She says, yeah, let me just lock up and I'll head over to the usual room, I suppose.
The usual room.
All right. So you're running low on time as you get back to the Maplewood.
As we're walking back there, I tell Clank, do you think it's a good idea to detect magic before we have this talk as well?
Sure. Let me rush in and start that ritual before the meeting starts. You can delay them for a little bit. I bet Brandy would help get everybody food and drink.
Yeah, I can help out with that too. We'll kind of chat them up, get some drinks and food, and get ready to head in. I'll wait for you to come out the door, and we'll head in.
weird crow prayer.
When they enter the inn, would there be a possible way to like is there like a water closet or like are there restrooms, like public restrooms off of the common room or anything like that?
There are outhouses around the inn, but there's also like closets where supplies are kept.
Okay. So Rhea, like, I don't know, like in the chat I mentioned Rhea, like kind of a little before 10:30 headed over to the inn, and she got a room on her own without mentioning the Holy Trinity, and she's hanging out in the common room. When the party enters, she would try to kind of like make contact with one of them and kind of make an eye towards the door, and and like head out towards the outhouses and see if any of the party follows her.
All right. Give me a. So you're just trying to signal that you want to talk to
I'm
them
just trying
outside?
to signal one person. So like whomever, I don't know, like if anyone would have scanned the common room and noticed her when they walked in,
Passive of
she
10.
would have like kind of made a yeah, I don't know. She would have tried to make like a pointed eye contact and then just kind of look to the door and then get up and walk towards the door.
And like motion
she
for them
wouldn't
to
make
follow
I
or something?
I was trying to make contact with just Alwyn or Clank, really. Just like one of them, whomever happened to maybe notice when they came in the door.
All right. Well, I mean,
Alwyn's always kind of watching the rooms and the exits with all of his experience and like guarding and protecting and stuff. You might catch his eye.
yeah, I mean, they would probably all notice you when they walk in.
Yeah. So I would specifically like kind of lock eyes with Alwyn and kind of look to the door and like just kind of get up and walk out to the door, like walk out the door.
All right. Is anyone following?
Clank adjusts his goggles, puts them on, and takes them off as a signal to Rhea.
I don't know what you're signaling. Of course, I guess you don't know what I'm signaling, except towards the door. I don't know. I guess I'm making this too complicated. I was hoping to get one of them alone for just like half a minute before they go into their meeting, but I don't know if they caught that. I don't know if anyone followed.
Is anyone gonna go try to talk to
I
Riella?
kind of make my way over there, not beelining it for her, but working my way around the room to head over there.
Okay.
Right.
Not making direct eye contact. Yeah, like just.
It was the Taco Bell from the morning, wasn't it, Elwyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Alwyn stepped out the back door behind me. Is there anyone around at the moment, like heading to or from the outhouses?
I mean, there might be a few people out here. Not.
Would I be able to subtly cast a spell and make it look like I'm having a conversation with Alwyn?
Yeah. So if you kind of step off to the side, you could probably cast something without anyone noticing.
Okay, I apologize for making that way too much subterfuge. I thought I was being simple and I was being complex, but I will put enhance ability on Alwyn, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna hang out and watch people. Let me know how it goes, and then she just walks away.
What are you enhancing?
His persuasion, charisma.
All right, so
I just wanted to put it on someone to help out.
All right, so you feel much more charismatic. And then head back in. So at this point, everyone's kind of arriving. The mayor and Grobe, along with several guards to keep an eye on her. You would see Doru is here. The contact from the Palor Shrine is also here. You would see Father Gregory is here too, which is kind of strange. And just everyone else who you had summoned. But yeah, unless you're going to say anything, they're all kind of heading back into the room.
I just shrug at Clank as I look at Father Gregory.
He says, "Hello again, child," smiling at you.
Hello, Father Gregory. How are you?
This is busy, but I'm well.
I think it's safe to assume that this is an open conversation that anybody will hear. Ophelia.
He says, I was told by the priests of this meeting, and they asked me to come as well, just to get a church representative to be part of all of this.
It's an
Am I
honor
not
to
enough?
be in the
As she
presence
jokes
of
around with
such
him.
a powerful and well-known church leader.
Says, well, thank you, and
I'm humble.
of course, you are enough, Ophelia, but you already know
She
of
goes,
what
Paylor,
happened.
bless you. She just touches him, goes, Paylor, bless you.
He would just nod and say, well, I look forward to hear of your tale. I'm sure it will be exhilarating. And he steps into the private meeting area with the rest of them. So what are you gonna do? As everyone is now assembled to listen to what you have to say. Oh, Shock came too. He kind of came running in the last minute. He says, glad you all finally made it back. He says, I got a couple things to tell you when we have some time alone.
Perfect. Thanks for making it on such short notice, Shock.
He says, well, of course. We've suffered through a lot together. I owe you all my life as well as the life of my love. So yeah,
Nod.
what are you gonna do?
All right. I am going to like call to attention everyone and look at Clank to make sure the dispel magic is good.
Detect magic.
Tact
Did
magic.
that go off?
Yeah. So if you have detect magic running, you would see that. I think it's just Father Duval would have magical items on him, as well as the ones your group possesses. I don't think anyone else here has magical items.
And if I walk around the room, there's no arcane eyes watching us or listening in on us.
Nope.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll stand in the corner and give Ophelia a nod.
I nod back to Clank. And I make sure that the door is closed and locked.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm just gonna roll into it. Fellow clergy and the good people of Char. So I'm coming to you today with such a heavy heart. There are so many things that need to be discussed and shared for the safety and security of everyone, not just in here, but for the town of Char. A great evil is now plaguing our land, and its nefarious tendrils seem to know no bound, as even one of our own have been afflicted. One of the members of the Holy Trinity, the great warrior Elduin, was befallen from a curse in an evil tomb. From this evil that he fell from himself, and he was felled in this recent battle. While we mourned and prepared the body, the curse finally took root and broke free, and he became possessed. And in this state of
Gasps.
confusion and bewilderment, he was brought back from the gates of Palor, and was forced to slay one of mine own clergy under this white's actions, not his own. We set out to continue this mission for the people and find out more information by stopping innocents from being willfully and wantonly slain, recovering stolen food and supplies, and reestablishing these footholds that we have in these farming fields around the city of Char, and all while trying to remove this curse that has been plaguing my personal family. And during these travels, we also discovered that the situation is far, far more dire than we previously thought. We have potential threats to the town of Char within its own walls. We have old sects rising once again. Shadowy spirits are being called to be released from their imprisonments. And all the while, slaughter of our own people are being conducted for greedy gains. This great evil is causing so much unrest, and the tides of not only Char, but the Cherubian Empire and even all of Gaian are starting to change. And if
So
action is not
the mayor says, I have some questions of all this. You said there are evil sects that have been coming into play. What do you mean? Does this have something to do with the Iron Tide?
I think the rest will be explained if you want to wait for me to finish, and then we
Oh,
can ask questions after, if that would be
yes,
okay.
certainly, she says,
Okay.
sits back down.
Sorry. Sorry to interrupt you, Mayor. It's just there's a lot that we need to unload here, and I figure if I am able to tell you everything, then we can have some questions and explain some more about our journeys and things that we may have uncovered.
Yes, of
But
course.
I do fear, and I'm coming to you guys, imploring you this because I fear that if action isn't taken soon, it might be just too little, too late. I mean, during our travels, we discovered that the cures, that Alduin had can be fixed. And by what means we know not. Yet during this time, he still put his life on the line to protect everyone from the city. He's been under our careful, watchful eye and care during this time to make sure that nobody else within the town would be affected by this curse. And even still, yet, he fights with everything he has for the safety and betterment of the common people. And I think if Palor can find redemption in the lost souls and is capable of showing mercy, I would implore you guys to do the same. In our dealings with this great evil, we've also found that even the Iron Tide has been personally affected. What started as an unlikely alliance against this darkness we were facing with them was used for the powers of good. This evil cares not for race, your social standing, or even your religion. It only wants power. And it showed the same merciless fate to those farmers that were attacked by the undead as it has anyone who's even tried to cross their paths. I know you may need time to think on this, but now is the time for us to band together. If we only stop this vile plague from spreading, then more selfish reasons can also be argued about why we should work with the Iron Tide. Its possibility to establish trade routes, restore these relationships that have been fractured, and we can all fight for the betterment of not just Char, but the whole empire. And this kind of brings me back to my most influential and debatable topic is that we do have strong reason to suspect that there may be people in Char who are not who they seem to be. Do have evidence suggesting that they hired the Iron Tide, which is why they were here to begin with. They were slighted, they weren't paid, and that's actually why the attacks were happening on our people, as it was a retaliation. So again, I'm imploring you just to keep our talks between us, and until more information is found, none of the others should know until we can verify these issues within ourselves in this close knit group. And I'm not calling for decisive action yet. I do think it's really important that we understand everything before we make any rash decisions and let fear and anger control us. And this is the reason why I've actually gathered you all here today. We're asking one that you guys just leave Alduin in our care. We want to make sure like an incident like this that happened here will never happen again. And he can atone through his actions much more through his service to the people. We ask that you consider accepting a truce for some unlikely candidates, for the safety of the people, and also for the potential for everyone to grow and flourish together in this harmony, especially since they have also taken the first steps and released our prisoners back to us. And we ask that you not be blinded by love for people that you may once knew. We ask that these investigations be conducted for the veracity of these claims. We don't want to tarnish people's titles and reputations for something that may or may not be true. While we did receive this information, we need to verify its truth so that no one will be caught off guard, taken advantage of, or just slain needlessly for someone's own personal gains. I vow to you that I will uphold all that is holy, just, and fair to ensure that everyone here is able to live a peaceful life away from these necrotic powers, without having to watch their own backs against their neighbors, and without fear of their loved ones being hedonistically slain. The first step towards this goal lies with you guys, though. So I'm asking us if you will join us on this quest towards like salvation and redemption for what may be coming ahead. Otherwise, I fear we may just be thrown to the wayside and forgotten to the annals of time, as everything we love is stripped and taken from us. She kind of pauses afterwards.
So everyone is quiet, taking in all you've said. Gregory says, "You say someone brought the Iron Tide here. Who brought them?"
We're
And
not sure yet.
the mayor says, "Yes, I would be interested to know more about that. I had thought these attacks random, but if what you say is true, then that's quite the accusation. If we could find that out, and you say you wish to work with the Iron Tide, the ones who attacked our town.
We do. We were able to strike a peace treaty with them, saying they will no longer attack our villages, they will stay away from us, but that they do also wish for peaceful negotiations. And I pull out the peace treaty that was signed by Orchard, and I lay that on the table for everybody to see.
What are the terms of this ore card?
I believe, out of
I
character, I believe we discussed.
She said I had heard from the tales that you were able to defeat them and drive them out. So this is not the case. You made peace with them.
We did defeat them, but we showed them mercy and understanding for their circumstances. They are
All
not a
right.
threat. We can deal with them if need be, but I do think it is Paler's ways to show kindness, forgiveness, and mercy to those who are just seeking retribution and not understanding the full depth of the situation.
What are they seeking retribution for exactly?
They were brought here to conduct a mission, and they were supposed to be paid to do so. However, they were not paid for it, and they acted out in retaliation against the city for this willful neglect.
And you don't know exactly who paid them to do this. This is just what they told you.
We do have some possible evidence that we are looking into, but nothing is for certain now, and I cannot say anything else without marring the town, its reputation, or any of the people within it.
Give me a persuasion check.
Can I use inspiration on my persuasion that I already have advantage for?
No, you can only have one advantage.
Okay.
So she would say, if you have an idea of who is responsible for this, I would hear their name. We can hear the evidence against them later, but this is quite a lot for us to take in without knowing who is responsible. I mean, if they have claimed someone paid them to do this, there's no reason to hide that, unless they are lying to us. Which I would not be surprised if these Iron Tide are lying. I mean, they're mercenaries and they're from the Nazic Empire.
Are others here not mercenaries?
She says they are. They're citizens of the town and the Empire, though, and none of them have been accused of attacking us.
I will just say that it will come out in due time. I just fear it might be too early, and I think there is a time and place very shortly that this information will be revealed. It's just...
Father Gregory would say, what more needs to be looked into? When is this time when you will reveal this foe to us?
We just feel that we don't have enough
concrete
evidence yet.
Give me another persuasion. Either of you.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig.
The mayor nods. She says, well, there's a lot of variables you've just presented me with very little backing them up. And while I do trust you, I feel like we need more information if we're just going to ally with these people who attacked us and killed many of our people. He says, and what would this alliance even entail? I mean, they were the ones causing the issue. How would they help us?
Out of character, we agreed to establish trade routes and seesaw killing, right? Possibly hire them as protectors on the road, and that we will pay them, right? We didn't. I don't have to say it's within for the vault, but I believe that is what our agreement was, Lou.
I don't remember Orcard agreeing to watch the road. I think he just agreed to work with you to find the vault. I don't think anything was brought up about them helping the town.
I
Well,
thought
because
we
I thought
had.
while they were here, because they talked about when they get done with the vaults and stuff, that Orcart wanted to go back home.
Yeah.
But while they were here, they were willing to work with us to achieve that goal. Like scratching each other's backs.
Yeah, but I don't remember you bringing up Orcard like coming to help the town. I thought he was just going to remain hiding because
So then I guess it was ceasing all fights in between and establishing trade routes. I know the trade routes were for sure talked about.
like trading with Orcard.
Yeah,
Trading
like
with the Nazic
establishing.
Empire. There's
Oh,
never been a trade route between the Therian Empire and the Nazic Empire to this point.
and what was Orcard's role in that?
Contact towards the Nazic Empire.
Yeah. I mean, he could probably try to get you in touch with some people. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember anything spoken of trade routes. I thought Orcard was just helping you from the shadows.
We saw it as mutually beneficial because
Like, what would he do for that? Just get you in touch with some people?
Yeah,
Uh,
and give
well-
us like a good word.
Yeah,
I
set up
mean, the
good
idea
relations
was
to
that
facilitate that conversation.
a caravan goes between his wherever he's moving his camp and Char and the Nazic Empire.
And then
Trades with
possibly
the
expanding
Therian.
out to the Nazic Empire from there.
I mean,
Alright.
well, the Orcard is the Nazic Empire, right?
He is from there. He knows people there. But the Nazic Empire is pretty far away. It would take several weeks to even send messages back and forth. Like they'd have to cross the desert. So he'd have to send a good portion of his forces to, get messages back and forth. But, yeah, I don't actually remember him talking about trade routes, unless I'm just blanking. I thought the deal was
I don't
just.
remember the road one, but I do remember the trade routes.
I thought he just had agreed to help you from the shadows. Because, yeah, there was. The only thing he really cared about was getting the key item back from the other two.
Yeah, and we're gonna say we're gonna do it and pay them out of character, but not.
So, alright, well,
paying them from the vault.
she would say, I mean, trade routes would be beneficial if this Iron Tide ally of yours can set them up. But I don't think I trust him after what he's done here. She says he literally killed a bunch of our people. Like, why should we believe he's not going to do something like that again?
Well, I guess one, because it's mutually beneficial for him to not, and two, that I think he knows we've already slain quite a few of his people to get to Orcard to get this discussion going. So I think he also knows that we are a force
The
to be
reason
reckoned with.
that he will not continue this is because this is a way to help rectify the betrayal that he used was against him.
Give me another persuasion check. Alright. So everyone's kind of quiet. You get the feeling that there's
Roll
not.
persuasion too, or no?
Yeah, you can roll if you want.
No, not much better.
So the mayor says, "You've given me a lot to think about. I'll have to talk to some of my people about this. I would appreciate gaining more information on who it was that betrayed us. You've been a
I will
little
check
bit
in on.
quiet about that, which is a little concerning. But yeah, I would need more information before I could give you an answer on any of this. There's a lot that you've told me that is a bit concerning to me."
Aye, there's a lot that is concerning that is going on around this town
There's
without
still a lot we
the
don't
people
understand.
of Char being accounted for or represented.
She says, "But regardless of all that, we do still appreciate all you've done for us. The town is rebuilding and the people are flourishing, and we will soon have trade caravans coming through again from people we can for sure trust. I will have to reflect on all you've told me about the Iron Tide situation and these betrayals. And hopefully you can give me some more information later on who it was that betrayed us."
And I am asking that we keep these cards very close to our chest. Um, Not only for others finding out that may use this information for nefarious means, but also for putting the people's hearts at ease. You guys are being privy to some very personal information that, if it does not work out the well and we decide to no longer, you know, uh, work with the Iron Tide, then that will not be an issue. They will still no longer attack and they could be considered driven out. If that puts the people's hearts more at ease, would you be averse to letting them believe that?
She says, "Well, I have no. I was not going to tell anyone of these events. I think it is best that the details be kept in the dark for now. Though rumors may spread, as I'm not sure everyone in this room will be tight-lipped about these things." She kind of looks around.
Can
What
I
of
do an
your?
insight to see if anybody is going to not?
No one's really been talking, so there's not too much to insight. I guess you could insight on the mayor and Captain Grove and maybe Father Duval. So yeah, I mean, you don't think any of them are seem like they're going to tell anyone. Obviously, there's no way to know for sure.
Father Duval and Priest Smith. Uh, um, how does the church feel about all of these happenings that are going on?
Father Duval says, "Well, I'm a bit concerned from the things you've told me. The shrine, or the Church of Paler, doesn't have a huge presence here. I mean, I'm probably the most influential member of the church members in this town right now.
Hey,
What of the this undead ally of yours? Is he in town somewhere? Do we have to be concerned that he might kill again?"
you do not have to
No,
be
we do
concerned.
not have to be concerned. One thing we meant to ask is if it would be safe to bring him into town.
Who are you asking?
Group?
I mean, are you? So Captain Duval says, "Are you hiding him somewhere?"
We do know his whereabouts.
He
We wanted
says,
to make sure you guys were okay with it before we cause any unease or unrest within the town based on the
Again, I have
circumstances.
to emphasize this wasn't Eldwin behaving. This was the being that possessed him.
"Well, I think he should come forward and explain his actions. He should be brought before the town, and we can discuss proper proper recompense for what he's done.
Would you be averse to holding it in a more private setting, based on everything we have and he has done for the town?
Well, I mean, it's not like we have all our trials in front of the town. He would be spoken to at the town hall barracks, and then we would decide if he needs to be incarcerated or not, and where to go from there.
We can set up a meeting if you so wish.
And, the captain would nod and say that might be for the best. If we could evaluate him, then we can figure out if he is truly a threat or not. All right. Well, you've given me much to think about, the mayor says. I would like to speak with you all again tomorrow, maybe with if your friend is willing to surrender himself. Then he can be properly brought into town and answer for his crimes.
We do have some more.
Ophelia, I
Undead.
think we have done enough talking today. We should let these people go, and we can catch them up on other details later.
And I would very much like to know, as soon as you can tell me, who it was that hired the Iron Tide. I think that is a very important piece to this puzzle that we don't have yet.
Oh, see, that's the mayor talking, right?
That's the mayor, yeah. Other than that, yes, I am glad you brought us before you to tell us all this. As I said, you've given
Right.
Or go ahead.
Sorry, obviously Ria's not there, but I just out of character wanted to ask in case I missed it. But like I heard Gregory like kind of react to like, what do you mean, there's someone who hired them or something at one point. But like beyond that, has any of the clergy like kind of has it just been the mayor talking, or have the priests
It's mostly
engaged
it's mostly been the mayor. It's also been Captain Grobe. The priests have been fairly quiet, other than Father Gregory. They're kind of letting him be the representative for them because he is the highest ranking of the
But he
priests here.
hasn't really commented on Eldwin. He just kind of was curious about the some of the other aspects of this.
Yeah, no, he
Right.
did. He said, well, he asked where Eldwin was, and
Okay.
that he should be brought before the town to face justice or explain
Okay.
his situation.
All right.
He was
I just
probably
wanted
the
to
most
make sure I got it all.
concerned about the undead status of Eldwin.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gregory and the rest of them would start to get up to leave unless anyone has anything else to say.
As they're getting up to leave, Alwyn would be standing over by the door and kind of watching the people as they leave.
All right. What are you trying to watch them for?
I'm trying to catch the mayor if the mayor's going out last.
I mean, she's probably just leaving as everyone else is leaving. Unless you're gonna try to, like, ask her to stay a moment. I don't think they're going out in a particular... I mean, I guess there is an order, but it's unlikely she would be the last one.
Okay. I'll wait.
Okay. So yeah, they all file out. There's some whispers among them. And yeah, the room would now be clear.
Can we keep Doru?
Sure,
Shocking Melody?
if you want them to
Okay,
stay
so-
behind, they can.
Alwyn would kind of motion for Doru to stay.
Yes, my friends.
Should we bring Elric and Eldwin and Rhea in on this?
Lou, I don't know that there's really anything big from this, but just in general, while Rhea was hanging about in the marketplace and she kind of was watching for the group to kind of reach the marketplace, and then when they did, she kind of watched them as they went and talked to Doru and then headed for the healer shop, and then Rhea left for the inn, and while she was at the inn, all through that, she was kind of looking just to notice if anyone else was observing the group or seemed to react to the group's presence or goings abouts or you know having the meeting. I don't know if there's
Well,
anything to be learned. But that's
from
kind of what she was
outside,
doing.
no one seemed to be observing.
Okay. Nobody seemed to react to the group coming or going or being around town or in the inn.
Give me, I guess,
that I noticed. Yeah.
give me an insight or perception, either or.
Those roll the same insight and perception.
Generally,
No, not
unless
at
you
all.
have,
Not for Rhea.
unless you have like proficiency.
Oh.
Uh,
See, I do
so
insight.
you would have noticed a shirtless individual watching a lot of what's going on.
Rhea has no idea who that is, but
America.
America.
All right.
The rest of us
Are his
know.
biceps
All right.
still, or his pecs still gorgeous?
Oh yeah.
they were bouncing.
Okay.
I know
Rhea's
exactly
level.
who that is
Do you?
from the
What?
Thursday game when
Oh.
the Tabaxi kept flexing on that dude.
Oh right. Yeah, you did meet him. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So she would give it some time after the mayor and the clergy all kind of file out, and then she'd be pretty nonchalant about it. But she would kind of make her way over to the room. But if there's other people in that might be watching her, she's trying to like be a little bit roundabout, very casual about it. I don't know how easy that is, but yeah, she would eventually come and join you guys.
Why don't you turn into a mantis and sneak in his pocket?
Yeah, like I said, there's a couple of people watching the goings on, especially now that the group is back. People would be.
So did I see any other, like, do I have any vague descriptions of other people I noticed that seemed interested by the group's presence besides the shirtless man?
Don't think so. I think
Okay.
most.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much all of the town is interested in all this. So like everyone at the inn is definitely like whispering and talking
Did
of.
I hear any interesting conversations in the common room while I was sitting there pretending to read?
Mostly just people speaking of the return of the Trinity and some rumors that have been swirling about what they've been up to and all that.
Did you hear that, guys? You're just the Trinity now. You're not holy anymore.
We lost our holy status. Holy cow.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's not true.
All right. Yep. So, and yeah, I'm definitely not going to become a bug and crawl into someone's bag when I can't maintain that form very long. So,
All
no,
right.
I don't follow Neil.
Can you imagine returning to full size in somebody's pocket though? The shock on their face.
Yeah,
What
I would
the-
like rip Neil's pants apart because like then he'd be wearing nothing like because
Just
I tear the
loincloth.
pocket off.
So Doru and the rest of them are kind of sitting there as you've asked them to stay behind. He would
The rest
say,
of them, is that like what, Melody and Shock or?
"Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so." Doru, Melody,
Okay.
and Shock. He would say, "That definitely could have gone better. I feel the mayor was a little bit frustrated not knowing who it is that had invited the Iron Tide. But I think it was best that you did not tell her just yet." And Shock, did you tell Shock? I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, we told him back at the camp.
He nods. He says, I've been kind of tight-lipped about it because I also am a little bit worried about making enemies of Blackwater and his family.
Melody, did he tell you?
Melody nods. She says, Shock told me everything in confidence, and I have told no one.
Shock. That's not tight-lipped, but I understand. I can't say no to Melody either.
He says, she would not violate my trust. And she says, I have told no one. Worry not.
Just a thought. As we kind of like review the conversation and how it went and everything. Didn't you say that Blackwater entered into other agreements at the same time as the Iron Tide agreement, and would not the other party perhaps be a witness that could assist us in having solid proof?
Yes, but I do not know if these people would be trusted.
So, as you
Ria,
are.
Ria knows nothing about like the blood hand more beyond that you have said that you guys are kind of working with Cithril.
So, as you are talking, there is a knock at the door.
Is it a shirtless man with big pecs?
Open Ordoro. I cast Mage Hand as I say that.
So, indeed, Neil is standing there. He says,
I use Mage Hand to grab a peck of his.
he just kind of stops and seems a little surprised.
It is him.
Says, I heard you were all back in town.
All these new portraits that you changed all the characters up. Like Shock's portrait is so different, and Neil's too. Wow.
Neil's is the worst. I love everybody else's, but I don't get to see his pecs, and he's wearing a fucking shirt. What the hell?
Very disheartening. He had a purpose.
We talked about it for like an hour the one day. We're
the
like,
look
dude.
makes sense though. The look.
Yeah.
It's a little bit suspicious.
Well,
a little bit.
I didn't have a way of taking off the shirt, so.
Turn on the NSFW filter. Come on.
No, there was no option for clothing. But he says, I had heard you were all back in town. I'm kind of surprised you didn't come to me and, well, anyway, I see you still have guests, so
You guys were our next stop.
perhaps I should leave you to speak with your guests.
Would you guys be available to talk in a bit? Cithril and you.
He seemed kind of surprised that you mentioned her in front of everyone. He says, oh, so your friends here know of your alliances then?
Yeah, they know everything.
And he says, well, still, there could be prying ears in the area. I would say whenever you're ready, come speak with us about what has happened. I'm sure she'll be interested in hearing how things went. And he just kind of smiles and nods at everyone as he takes his leave.
We turn around and go to leave.
Where
I use Mage Hand and smack his butt.
He says,
I didn't touch him. It's fine.
so, are you actually doing that?
Yeah.
He looks over at you, kind of surprised, and he says, usually my clients pay me for such a privilege. Although maybe for you I'll make an exception. He gives you a wink. He says, maybe come see me later.
Owen looked astonished.
The clergy are always the freakiest.
I just get all red and don't say anything.
And he just smiles and walks
that
out.
Innocent, naive, like Ophelia would
Yeah,
have
that escalated quickly.
I swear, everyone tries to go out with Neil.
Yeah, everybody messes with Neil.
She's trying to be all light-hearted and jokey, and then suddenly made it real, and she was like, "Oh."
So yeah, he would take his leave, and Shock says, or go ahead.
I was going to ask Neil before you leave. Do you have any questions or anything you want to discuss?
Says, oh, I have many questions, but I think we should speak in private once you finish here. And Cithril will probably want to hear those answers as well. So I don't want to make you speak twice.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Smart man.
He nods. And he says, you give me a call, huh? And he gives you a wink as he leaves, Ophelia.
What should we
Mage
call
Hand
you?
and slam the door behind him.
Alwyn's waggling his eyebrows at Ophelia.
All right. So what about back at the cave, Elric and Elduin? Do we need to shift to you for a bit, or are you okay, like just watching what's happening in town?
I'm honestly okay just watching what's going on.
Yeah, we were having a good conversation sort of deal going on there for a
Trying
bit.
not to laugh while I was reading over your dumbass shit, and then saying my name in there too. I was like, "You motherfuckers!"
I got a kick out of that.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
no, I mean, I'm just reading my book, my demonology book.
all right. So yeah, are you gonna have any more of a meeting with Melody and Shock and Doru, or Since you asked them to
I
stay
mean-
behind.
I think we've probably said
Yeah.
enough. Or well, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know their honest opinions now that it's just us, and we kind of got Doru's already a little bit.
I think you have a lot of goodwill with the town, Shock says. But with what you just said, I think you may have brought some suspicion on you and your group. There's definitely not goodwill towards the Iron Tide, so convincing anyone of an alliance with them is going to be a difficult endeavor. Melody
I
would
think
nod.
when we
The righteous path is usually never easy.
I know if you accuse Blackwater of anything, he's going to make your life here very difficult and probably try to turn the town against you. He probably has some ammunition to do it.
I bet he does.
So I'd be cautious about any accusations.
That's why we were so hesitant to bring it up, is unless we have absolutely damning evidence against them that it can do more harm than good at this point.
Shock says, and even if you did have damning evidence, I know how politics works. It would be tough to sway the town against him completely. Maybe some of the people you could turn against him, but the town as a whole is in his pocket. So,
The root of evil runs deep.
but it's an interesting position we're in. I think we've done a lot of good, and as long as we're careful, we can continue to do good. Melody nods.
I hope you know that is our only true goal. I am willing to face backlash from the town if it means even one extra person gets saved by this information being shared.
Well, if Blackwater knows that you're working with the Blood Hand, that's certainly something he could use against you, because they are also not loved here. But yeah, I think. I think the meeting could have gone better. We'll have time to flush everything out, hopefully. Shock says, I'm still working with a lot of the people we freed to make sure they're doing okay. So that's what I've been busy with.
Can you keep your ears to the ground and let us know if you hear of anything that might be impactful towards us?
I could try, though I'm not very good at gathering information from the streets. It's not one of my skills.
Shock, you talk to a lot of people all the time. You guys are very well known.
This is not as well known as you all. I am known for my association with the Holy Trinity. Other than that, I'm not that well known in this town. Melody,
Yourself.
Melody here is actually much more well known for her assistance with helping all of the sick and injured. She says, I'm just doing what I can.
Well,
Have you not protected some of the caravans coming into town? Don't demean yourself.
He says, I have in the past. That doesn't make me well known. A caravan master doesn't operate in the eye of the public. He says, I brought many in before these sieges, but it doesn't mean the town knows of me.
let us not waste your time anymore. You enjoy your day. We are going to go about ours.
Says, yeah, I will be around. I assume you know how to get in touch with me. One of you seems to have magics that can do so. So if you need anything, just let me know. I do still have the loyalty of the men we saved. If you do need a fighting force, they could probably be convinced to join us for payment, of course.
Yes.
Good to know. I forgot about that. Thank you.
He says a lot of them are out of work right now anyway, so they would jump at the chance to get some work.
If it's for any of the work against the undead, I would be more than willing to offer some services, but I couldn't mobilize them against anybody in the town. Let's just get that thought out of the way.
He says, well, whatever the case may be, they are loyal to us for saving them. And you do have a lot of goodwill amongst the villagers. I don't know if you want to use the narrative of a peace treaty with the Iron Tide. That might spend a lot of your goodwill. you might want to keep that to yourselves. Because the
Clank
Iron
will,
Tide
look
definitely
at
does not.
Ophelia and say, I do agree. I thought that we had driven them off. And that's what the town was hearing.
Well, that is also why we discussed it and gave that crucial piece to the key
Everyone.
players in Char and let them decide if they deem it better for the people to believe that they were
But
driven off if
anyways,
the peace accord does
so
not work out.
we go continue on with our day.
All right, so they're going to take off. What does the group want to do at this point? It's
I want to
still
get our party back together.
yeah, it's still pretty early. It's probably about 11 a.m. at this point.
We
With
got
the
time
meeting and
to
everything.
go. We got time to go back to the cave
Crypt.
thing, right?
Or do we want to? Yeah, we can't go to the cursed church. We've been told not to go there.
We can go wherever we want, Clank.
Would there be any like
yeah.
contracts
What do you-
around town or like a bounty board or anything?
There might be something at the town hall barracks. Cithril wanted to speak with you, as well as Blackwater.
Blackwater.
Those are probably the two biggest players in town if you want to get paid. Other than that, you could also work on downtime stuff.
Itching for a fight.
I am. Is Elduin allowed back in town now? No, we gotta have that thing first,
He has to
right?
come back tomorrow to answer for his crimes.
But does that mean he's free to roam today?
Oh, he would probably be arrested if they found him. Iara could probably sneak him into town tonight, but he probably doesn't want to just be walking around.
It seems to me that that particular objective of our meeting today was a failure. Like they still want him to.
We kind of ignored
basically-
that whole part the entire time.
I mean, he did
Yeah.
murder someone. It's hard to.
Well, that's
Yeah,
we
that's
were
what we
attempting.
wanted to focus on, and we got focused on other things.
Yeah.
Like the plan was to make it clear that he was not the one in control and not the one who committed the murder, or at least not the consciousness who committed the murder. And we hoped that would
Yeah, you.
help his. Yeah.
You could try to go talk to the mayor a little bit more about it if you wanted. But yeah, it wasn't really.
Honestly, Clank's just gonna go back to the cave and chill with the other two.
Okay. So yeah, what? So Clank is gonna go back to the cave. What's everyone else doing? You still do have enough time in the day to work on downtime projects if you want, or we could just pass time. You could go try to meet with Sithril. I mean, there's a bunch of different things you could do.
I guess.
How many are these men that you saved that would be willing to mobilize for you if you called for them?
I believe only like a dozen. I know there was 9 for sure, but I think there were some others we freed along the way.
There was like 26 or so total.
Oh, nice.
Is this you asking them later on? Like, do you come in now or something?
Oh, I said a while ago that I came in, back before Neil came in.
Oh, I thought you were waiting. All right, so you did come in to talk to them.
I mean, yeah, I said I role played that she walked in just before Neil came in. Like just after I said that is when you said that Neil knocked on the door.
All right.
I assumed that when he was saying, "Oh, I see you have company," that he would have seen me, Doru, Melody, Shock, all like he doesn't know Rhea, so I would have assumed he would have thought she was a guest just like the others, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want to do?
What do you
Go
think, Rhea?
save Eldwin from being driven mad.
Yeah, we need to go rescue Eldwin. Shit's about to get real in the cave. We need to go back. I don't know what happened to Ayara, but she has checked the F out as well.
Ayara's with Eldwin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If you,
but
I'm sure you
there's
were not
been a
able
lot
to
of
track
chat.
it with everything that was going on, but yeah, massive amount of chat. The cave has gone stir crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think that Iria is with Clank on like let's go ahead and head out of the gates. And let Eldwin know that we weren't exactly successful. They still will probably arrest him if they find him or see him enter the town. They want him to stand trial. It's possible that some of the people we talked to today might take into account some of the facts we've given them, but it didn't seem like they were convinced or even really focused on any of those particular facts.
Alright, so you all head back to the cave. The guards, of course, just let you leave. They don't ask anything or really bother you. Getting
Go ahead.
Getting back to the cave at about 11:30.
When you get back to the you hear yelling, and Elric says, "You've been ignoring me this entire goddamn time."
Ellen just yells back, I am back at Char right now. I am nervous, and you think I'm some kind of plaything to you?
I've been trying to
You hear
entertain your mind.
you hear Iara laughing.
I've been trying to get your mind off of all this. And mine. But still.
It's not helping.
You all are back. Your friends are losing it a little.
Let's get
That's
some
about what
fresh
I
air.
expected.
She's just kind of sitting near the entrance of the cave inside.
Let's get some fresh air. Let's maybe, walk out into the forest a bit, like away from the town. Maybe find a better campsite.
Iara
do next.
Iara would
Here.
look to Rial and the rest of you. She says, "Am I sneaking the big one in tonight or not?"
I'd rather now at this point than sit with this
I got the
child.
title of a sex tape.
Well, let's
sneaking the
still,
big one in.
Go turn yourself in.
Wait, what did you say? Sex tape? What?
Title
my
of the
first
sex tape.
I'm sneaking this big one in tonight.
let's fill him in. I assume we would
Yeah.
take time to fill him in on everything
Yeah.
first,
All right, so you give him a rundown of everything that
so he
happened.
knows his options.
You don't have to role play it, just since you heard it all.
There you go.
At this point, Eldwin's just kind of
On
gives
his
like a
last
disappointed.
nerve.
It's kind of gives a disappointed stance. It just says, "So all this was for nothing. We just wasted our time."
No, it's not
We
sure.
didn't
think
just
we
waste our
wasted.
time. We told we showed a lot of players in this town our hand. So they
Did you
don't
tell
know
the
cards that we have.
part? Did you tell the part about Neil?
Iara smiles and claps you on the shoulder, Eldwin. She says, "Welcome to being a wanted killer. It's not so bad once you get used to it."
Well, they
Oh,
wanted
the other
to
one's
have
kinda
you come in
groans.
tomorrow.
How many clergy have
good.
you killed, Ayara?
Of the Spider Queen? Oh, quite a few. That's why I can't go
Oh.
back there anymore.
All right, fair enough.
She says,
So what
"So
do you
now I
wanna do,
work up
Eldwin?
here."
Do you want to go back tomorrow? Do you want to run? Do you want to
Frolic?
frolic in the fields and feel better?
We could even go back today. Get her done with.
Well, like I said, I can sneak you in tonight, as long as he has a place to stay that they don't know about.
I think that the main reason we considered sneaking him in was for him to be present at the
To be
meeting
part of that
today.
conversation.
Yeah,
so
which
there's
we
no point in-
obviously hoped would go better than it did, at least on this one topic. But at this point, Eldwin, do you want to face their justice and see what verdict they come to? We will support you in any way we can. Or do we want to return to other matters outside of Char? How
I
you
did
feeling?
argue for leaving him in our care.
Iara would say, "Do you have any political allies in town? I mean, you all are popular with the people, but you don't have as much political standing. Maybe an ally would be useful here."
Like who? Do you have one? Do you know someone such?
She says, I mean, I know technically we are not his ally, but Blackwater doesn't know that you're working against him yet. Maybe you could try to use that to earn some favor, and maybe he can help get your ally here pardoned, if you don't mind owing your enemy a favor.
Alright, what do you think? You'd
Yeah.
be the one
let's-
doing that.
Although, if you do turn to turn on him at some point, that could backfire spectacularly.
You don't say.
That sounds like a challenge.
I don't want to have anything to do with Blackwater.
Like, if you don't mind keeping Elduin a secret, then your thief contact could probably get him someplace in hiding. I mean, they're all criminals and they haven't been caught yet.
Well, we also have a lot of things to do outside of Char.
I'm so.
But it's
So
a question
it
of,
seems like
does he
we
want to
have
answer? It's up to
the
Elduin.
option to go into Char now, or
Well, besides
sorry.
besides Eldwin having a trial, what do we have tasks that we want to accomplish further in Char?
Long-term ones, out of character, like long-term ones. Like we wanted to basically like remove Blackwater from power and have the church basically step up and take over as like a
Did we want
like
that in
supporter
Ophelia
of the
want
people.
that? That
Say
sounds
what?
like an Ophelia plan.
That
the
was an
church take
Ophelia
over.
plan. That was an original
Was that-
Clank, Ophelia, and Jordan plan.
Okay.
I don't know if there's much of a church in town, but you could certainly try to.
We talked about
Can we
getting a plot of
remove
land and
Elric's
building a
curse?
bigger
That's
church.
one thing.
Oh, you
I
could
don't
talk
know,
to
Doru.
So the most powerful priest in town is probably Father Duval. You'd probably want to talk to him if you want to get the curse removed.
We have the crypt
Oh.
outside of Char still.
Eldwin, I don't think we've really heard from you too much in all of this.
Yeah.
I want to know what he wants to do.
I am not familiar with how your politics work.
I explained to him about standing trial and what that entails in the town. And basically wanting him to, one, validate the crime itself and hear his perspective inside of it, and two, to make sure he's not going to be a threat to anyone else. But I don't know how those events are going to play out. And that is what I tell him. So
You
he
can
can make an educated decision.
You can see Eldwin's like do a visual gulp based out of what he learned from Ophelia.
Says,
Ophelia, do you think it would be beneficial, because the mayor and Grobe were talking as though Eldwin's fate would be in the hands of the town, of the town government. And do you think it would be beneficial for us to require that, like, Father Gregory or some other people beyond just, I don't know, just beyond just the mayor and the town guard having a say in it? Do you think that would benefit Eldwin or not?
He said it was going to be like a trial.
So-
there's going to be multiple people there of the town.
does anyone have history? I'll say
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
history might tell you something about the justice system. So
Clank knows everything about the justice system.
in general, in the Teruvian Empire, if someone is accused of like really heinous crimes like murder or something, if they murdered someone, like if it's not like as an important crime, like someone poor got murdered or something, it's usually kind of left to the guard to try to handle it. In the case of Elduin, who's probably a little bit more of a or at least a more well-known figure, they would probably assemble the more important people in the town, like probably the mayor, Lord Blackwater, maybe Gregory Duval, and they'd have like an actual trial where you
So
would.
you're
So
saying
it's
we
likely
should have
that
put him on
Blackwater
trial
had a
before
say
we
in
had
this?
this?
Yeah, Blackwater is a prominent member of the town. They would usually so they would probably discuss it amongst themselves, and most likely a member of the church would be elected as the judge, because the church is often looked to for dishing out judgment once the law has been violated. But yeah, most likely Blackwater would be one of the people deciding your fate.
I don't know if any of that knowledge actually garners
why
any
don't-
confidence here.
Why don't we just
No.
get you? What
But
if
I do think he's
What
going to
does
be
Elric
favored
have to
upon.
say? I haven't heard from Elric.
what if I can get you a whole new life, Elduin? What if I could do that? Just get you, we shave you,
I think that's
set
what
you up,
started this problem, him getting a whole new life.
set you
Well,
up in the
why don't
caravan
we s-
business.
I still want to hear what Elduin wants to do. It's
Mhm.
his decision whether he wants to go stand trial or not. I'm not going to force him if he
Oh
wants to
no,
even
definitely not. No
attempt
one's.
that, or
If
if he
this
wants
happens,
to
if
just
this
keep
happens
working from
again,
the shadows.
come to me. I know how to hide a body. I'll help you.
Elric is one of the nobility, so he would know a little bit about trials, probably. But yeah, what are you gonna say, Elduin?
Whew. I think. I guess I would try to. I would go to this trial then. I will re-enter Char.
When do you want to do it, bud?
Out of character. What time of day is it? It's still morning.
It's getting close to afternoon. It's probably around 11:30 right now.
Hmm. Probably now. Better than later.
And you're sure? Did you want to place your
We
your
stand by
fate
whatever you did
in
pick.
the hands of these humans and their justice system? A justice system that includes a pompous nobleman who might be corrupt?
But we
If you
have
decide you
also done
don't
much good
agree
for
with
the town.
this, I will help get you free.
We
I
will do
don't-
whatever we need to protect
Yeah.
you, Elduin. I want to make sure you are okay with this decision.
Yeah, it's
My
totally
head will
your
be on the
decision.
chopping block next to yours.
Just to
Well-
clarify, Rhea is just reacting to what she's just learned about the human justice system from Ophelia and Clank because she didn't know most of that either.
Yeah, for like I said, it's usually the nobles who decide the more. The nobles in the church decide the higher importance cases.
I
We'll
have
be behind-
contacts with the church. If Elric could have contacts within some of the nobles for the trial.
Elric might actually be one of the people summoned to this trial, since he is noble.
This is getting interesting now.
Yeah, so no, Rhea, just to clarify.
Did you,
Rhea,
well, actually,
Elwin-
Elric, real quick, would you have identified yourself in this town as a noble?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's,
I guess you haven't
Oh,
gone in yet, but usually when you
Yeah.
go to towns, you probably would tell them like who
Yeah,
you are
actually,
and who your
yeah.
family is.
so he did actually spend the night at the Darkwater Inn.
Okay,
And,
so yeah, they would know
Yeah.
if you told them. But yeah, go ahead, Rhea. Sorry.
Oh no, she was just clarifying to Elric that after she went on that little tangent about, are you sure you want to trust this system? That was just, I'll stand behind you, whatever you want. She just clearly doubts.
I wouldn't trust the system, Iara says. I would just be a cool, on-the-run bandit or murderer, like me. She says, I'll take care of you. You'll be fine. And you got like a whole thief network in town.
Next time, don't leave.
I mean, come on, look at this guy, she says, pointing at Elric. You want to trust a system that would put him in charge of your fate? Come on.
Don't leave witnesses next time.
Exactly. You shouldn't have left a witness.
And we just need to bolster his charisma is what we need to do.
yes,
Emboldening
and-
Yeah, I
bond.
shouldn't have left a witness.
Murder everyone.
Clank, Ophelia, do they generally have any safeguards against magical influence at these trials?
I believe the church normally does.
Probably not in Char, but yeah, you know that Father Gregory is there, so he might have ways of. I mean, being a high-level church official, he probably knows procedures for watching out for enchantments and such.
Okay.
So you'd definitely be risking it if you tried to use like magic to influence the outcome. Like even if you did like a spell like enhance ability, like they might be able to detect that and look for
Is
it.
there any other nobility besides Blackwater in this town at all that I can chat up? Maybe.
Uh, Probably just you. I think you two are the only
Oh,
noble family members who are here.
and Ophelia.
I guess
Ophelia
Gregory,
is a
the mayor,
noble.
might sort of
Yeah.
be.
Oh yeah, I am.
Are you?
And yeah.
I thought you were just a church member.
No.
No, I'm from a lesser noble family.
But with all those
Uh,
people that we rescued, can
The
we not
family
just
gave
use
her to
them
the
to
church
vote
because
one of
she's
our
like,
party onto the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, sorry, yeah.
uh,
I was just,
or go ahead. Sorry.
I think like Ophelia, you said you're just like a younger child, so your family like gave you to the church, right? But you're like,
Yeah, I
there's
was
some
from a
important
noble
people.
family, and
Yeah.
it was like seeing that I was born with like white hair. They thought I was touched by Palor.
Had you identified yourself as noble in town? I thought you were kind of trying to hide
Uh,
that.
Only to
it's
Ulrich, I thought.
it's known, but it's not something that she talks about.
Okay, so well, if you did identify yourself to the town, I thought you had kept that hidden. But if you did, then you
No.
would probably be summoned for the trial as well.
She uses her full name, but other than that, she doesn't like say like I'm important. Hey, look at me, I'm a noble.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you guys would kind of be the jury, and then you would all do like a little spiel about your opinion to probably Father Duval, and then he would make a decision on what should happen.
I
Well,
think we
yeah,
could.
things are looking up. If we've got two nobles in our group, and they're two of the three nobles in Char.
Give me some time for the rest of the day. I'll go around and I'll maybe try to grease some pockets. See what we can do as far as swinging the vote in your favor, Elduin.
How many votes do you think they're like?
I mean, as far as you know, it would just be the three of you, and
Well,
then Father Duval.
I'm sure Father Duval would.
I think Ophelia has a better chance of influencing Father Duval's vote than anything you are going to give him, Elric.
Oh, I mean, I doubt the church would, not take a considerable donation, for for the pain and suffering that they have had to deal with, according
Oh, when
to
you put it like that, it actually sounds pretty nice.
Do we
interesting.
have the resources for such a donation?
Like I said, give me some time. I'll get some gold together and present it to Duval.
All right. So yeah, what's the plan for today then?
So what I want to do is I want to go into town. I have a lot of the old world currency that I want to turn into gold ingots.
All right, so you're gonna get that melted down.
Yeah,
How much are you converting?
I have 520 gold pieces. How much of that can be made into ingots by the local smelter?
I mean, you could get 5 gold bars with 500.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so Elric is getting some gold bars made. Anyone else doing anything before I start passing time?
I mean, Eldwin, you said you wanted to go ahead and enter town. Are we entering now? Like,
Giving
if so, I
yourself
think
up?
we'll all walk with you. Yeah.
Do you all feel comfortable if I do?
It's
Well,
your decision. Well, I support it.
I
If
do.
that's...
I'm still gonna recommend being an outlaw. IR says, but you do you, big guy. I'm sure you'll be fine. Especially, it sounds like you guys got this in the bag. Got like 2 of the 3 jury members are friends of yours, and what you killed some nobody? Yeah, you're probably fine. Sounds about right for the justice system.
Your justice system is very strange.
She shrugs. She says, "Not my justice system." Although, if we're gonna go by Drow justice systems, this is amazing. I
I
mean,
feel like, yeah, I feel like I might have misunderstood the translation meaning of this word justice in your common tongue.
It stands for
just
us,
ice.
as the three of us.
Just
Except for
ice.
Elduin, Ulrich, and I. It's just us, guys.
Yeah,
I mean-
the word that I thought it meant, is more fair. This does not seem fair.
Oh,
This seems
oh, oh.
accent.
Oh, you
Yeah.
you sweet summer child, Iara says, like tapping you on the shoulder. Bear, that's
Bless your
hilarious.
soul.
Bless your
While
soul.
I
Bless your heart.
Oh no, no, no! I'm not a summer child. I'm from the spring part.
She
while I
says, well,
have
autumn child or whatever then.
while I have the gold smelting, I'm going to actually head to Blackwater's estate.
All right. So before you do that, what's everyone else doing?
I guess we're
Do
waiting.
we gather
for
the prisoners as
Elric.
witnesses on Elric's behalf?
So you know, Elric, that you guys would be able to present evidence. So yeah, you definitely could bring them into the trial and have them give like little spiels about how Elric helped them. It'd
I
probably
want to
help.
go ahead and do that for everybody that we don't have in our pocket. I think that would be a good idea to help out Elduin, is to have these good judges of character and these witness testimonials to help him out.
All right, so you go look for Char, or not Char. I'll
I found
say
Char.
you go look for Shock to go round them up. I'll say you're just in town trying to find them.
These are the slaves that
including
we
some of the farmers we've
saved
saved.
from the hobgoblins.
I mean, just random farmers might not be the best witnesses because, I mean, unless they saw Elduin fighting for them, they wouldn't have much to say
We
other
did.
than. Okay, so then, yeah, you could probably get them and have them speak as well. But yeah, what about the rest of you? Anything else you're doing? Are you turning yourself in at this point? Is that the plan, Elduin?
Yes.
All right. So you would go enter town. I assume you're all going with him.
Yeah, I don't know how long it would take for Shock and I to get the former prisoners rounded up, but I would like to have them rounded up to be kind of a greeting, I guess, for Elric coming in town. So that we have like this show of solidarity, show of force kind of thing.
They would arrest Elduin when he came into town unless anyone's saying anything. It's like
No.
it's like you're like Trump turning yourself in.
Oh my god.
He's nothing like Trump.
I know
Let's
the
just
best
lay that down.
best people. Obviously, I'm innocent. All right, so they put you in the brig for now, and yeah, the guards are actually pretty nice to you, knowing that you're part of the Trinity. It seems like they do. There is a lot of good sentiment towards you because of the good you've done. You think probably the church is the most biased against you because you know you killed some of their or one of their people, which might be a little bit iffy with Duval, but even Blackwater doesn't really have a good reason to turn against you, at least not yet, since you didn't make any direct accusations against him.
I have some use for him, or he has. I'm still useful to him.
Yeah.
I have some use for him.
But
boy.
yeah, so I guess we could do Elric. You go to the Blackwater estate. Being recognized as noble, they would let you enter, and because you know Blackwater has already. Actually, no, wait. Blackwater doesn't know that you're with the group
Does not know.
because you haven't met him
However,
before this.
He does know my mother, Yenna Eldenspell. She's the head of the family in Dorvan.
All right, so yeah, if you approach the estate, they would actually stop you because they don't know you're with the Trinity. They say, "Can we help you, friend?" Several of his guards.
Yes. I am Elric Eldenspell. I'm here to potentially discuss some business dealings with your head of house, Galen Blackwater.
Does Lord Blackwater know you're coming? Do you have an appointment?
He does not.
Mm-hmm. Let me speak with him and see if he'll see you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mind if I at least come in and wait in your waiting room? It's quite hot out here.
I'm sorry, but you will have to wait outside until you're given admittance. But this shouldn't take long. Worst case scenario, you would probably be ask to wait at the inn, and he'll send you a correspondence of when he wishes to speak with you.
Yes, fine. Go ahead.
So he goes inside, and
I gotta
you.
say, I was expecting Elric to be like, "Don't you know who I am?" or like a little more snooty.
I want to speak to your manager.
No. When it comes to
Aaron.
like business stuff, he's all about it. He's on it.
Cool.
He's all about the etiquette. Only when talking to you lower houses is he
Yeah, exactly.
like, this is Blackwater. You don't act like this with Blackwater.
Oh, well, you'll see. You'll see.
Actually, wait. I think I have a new picture of Blackwater too. Let me grab that. I do. All right, let me transfer it over.
What Lou does in his off days is just AI generates pictures of his characters.
Why not?
Are you like in a tunnel somewhere? I can barely hear you.
Yeah, he's in a tunnel.
Oh, I'm in a tunnel. Oh
He's in a tunnel.
My headset
Somebody's
was
in the bathroom.
Is he in the bathroom? Makes
Can you
sense.
hear my tink?
Hear the tinkle.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Wait, what's his name?
Galen.
Galen. Right. Why did I?
Galen.
Hey now.
Like Jalen, but gay.
Oh, I'm looking. Okay, I was looking at the wrong campaign. That's why. Wah. All right. So you are allowed entrance after about 5 minutes. The guard comes back and says, yes, Lord Blackwater is willing to speak with you. So you are brought inside to the main hall area where you see a bunch of mercenaries kind of going to and fro. Looks like his main hall has been converted into some sort of meeting place. And Lord Blackwater approaches you. He says, hang on, my phone's ringing.
No, take your
Wait.
time, Galen.
He has a phone, Galen?
No, I'm
He's a very busy
he's a very busy man.
nobleman.
So yeah, he approaches, he says,
wait, I'm getting a message spell.
yeah. Lord, exactly. He's getting ascending. He says, it's good to meet you, Lord Eldenspell. I'm surprised to see you in Char.
As well, it is finally to meet you, Lord Blackwater. Marvelous.
He says, I know your mother well. Has she sent you here for some sort of correspondence with the Blackwaters?
Well, it's more of a personal matter, at least. You've heard of the Holy Trinity, right? Of course.
He says, yes, of course. I actually work with them.
Yes, I have. Well, then it seems we have a vested interest in their dealings. Have you heard that there may be a potential hearing of sort for one of their members?
No, I believe one of their people is in trouble with the law, but I haven't heard about a hearing per se.
Well, yes, if he, which I believe he will give himself up, there will be a trial for the situation. I think it's in our both of our best interests that we make sure that the trial goes well, to say the least. Especially with what we both plan to gain, as I wink to him.
He says, well, what do you have to do with all of this? I didn't know you were familiar with the Trinity. How do you know them?
A few weeks ago, Mother sent me on a quest to retrieve an item. It turned out to be linked to this situation. After all, we had a break-in. It was, Yes. They didn't take anything of monetary, at least not much. But they did take a family relic, which my mother cares about dearly. Grandfather, you know, he did help build the caravans around here, at least.
And you think the Trinity are responsible for this in some way?
Uh, I think they may be the key in helping me obtain that item and potentially
Curious.
more.
He says, "Well, I do have a vested interest um in their prosperity. So if there's some way I can help them, I'd be happy to. Can you tell me more about this item that was taken from you and how you think the Trinity are involved in all this?"
Yes, my family dagger was stolen. It, you know, was my grandfather's, and it's been in the family for over 100 years. Surely you've heard of it.
He says, "Yes, I think your mother told me of of an elven piece she had.
Yeah.
Was it the dagger of Asiok?"
Out of Game Loo is I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then yeah, I say yes, yes it was.
Quite a
You do
piece to
know.
have stolen. He says, "My apologies. I know our kind has to deal with theft quite a bit, unfortunately. So tell me, sorry, how are how is this all involving of
Well,
yeah.
I tracked the dagger and ran into this group, and they've been helping me get a hold of my property. I do have it tracked to a specific person, and I will be getting it back fairly soon. But that's neither here nor there. My current interest is making sure that Elduin gets off.
Give me a persuasion attempt."
Okay.
He says, so these so the Trinity are trying to help you get your dagger back.
Oh God, negative. Oh my God,
Holy wow.
this is wild.
Holy wow.
Okay, this is wild.
That's interesting. I didn't know they had any involvement with your family and the dagger. But
Well,
at least they
also
hadn't
I've
mentioned anything to me.
It's more so I've hired them. It was out of not necessity, but they did bolster my forces. Looking for the dagger amongst some hobgoblins of sort.
Well, that's interesting.
But enough about. I'm like I said, I'm here on my interest and potentially yours. I've heard they work for you as well, to make sure that Elduin gets off lightly.
Well, if there is a trial, I assume they will summon me to be on the jury. I assume they would summon you as well, as you are nobility. I'm guessing Father Duval would also be involved, as he is clergy, as is the way of the Empire.
I did make myself known the other night. I got a little too drunk at the tavern, and well, you know how it can be.
He says, as per our custom, obviously I cannot say one way or another how I would rule on this. I would have to see the evidence and then do my civic duty. So I cannot speak of what the outcome might be. But I mean,
Can I
if
make, like, insight check on that, or
oh yeah, sure,
is it insight? Am I right?
yeah, it'd be insight.
Okay. 11.
So you get the feeling he is saying what he's supposed to say. You don't know for sure, but you think if he is a less honest person, he would probably rule in whatever would best serve his needs over what justice would be, as most nobles do. But it's not his decision. Ultimately, it's up to the church, which is why the church are the arbiters, because they're less impartial.
We'd like to think.
Yeah, in theory, they're like the nobility are definitely going to make arguments based on usually what's in their best interest. Once as they hear the the case. But the church is supposed to be the impartial part of it.
Yeah. So then I say, well, that's fine. I understand. You have to do what you must. I just figured, I'd have this meeting, to see if we could potentially agree on something, as far as making sure
So as
that,
well, what agree on what?
well, just that we're trying to work to help each other. I think we might be.
He says,
At
well,
least from what I've heard.
by law, I cannot say one way or another how I might rule on such a case. As said, I would have to see the arguments. If you're asking me outside of the law, I will, of course, rule in the favor of you and your friends.
Outside of the law, no. You do what you must. I'm just letting you know the situation. But that's all, Lord Blackwater. I had nothing more to say. I just merely wanted to meet you, as I've heard a lot about you from my mother.
He says, well, it's good to know you're in town. Again, I'm sorry that your family's artifact was taken. Perhaps I can help in the search for it.
It's being handled. I'm not too worried about that. It's in the works. But
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I shall see you for this trial then, I suppose, depending on when it happens.
Then I'll see you then. And I do a slight bow and then take my leave.
All right. So yeah, you take your leave. Where are you headed after that?
How long does it take for this gold to be turned into ingots?
They'd probably have it back to you by the end of the day.
Okay. So towards the end of the day, I'd want to go see Father Duval, but whenever.
All right. What about? So can I pass time, or does anyone else want to do anything in town?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're
good.
sitting around, I'm going to do a downtime project, but I'll probably stick around the end.
Yeah, so if you have a downtime project already in the works, as long as you meet the requirements, you can put a day towards it.
Is there any lab in town that we know of that we have access to where we could work, or do we
Melodies.
What type of lab?
herbalism?
So you don't need a lab for that. You just need your herbalism tools.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have an herbalism
Yeah.
kit, you can do
I'll
that
look from the
anywhere.
hotel room then. I have to go look and see if I have something in process. Otherwise, I'll add something to the list and figure out.
Yeah, if you
Ria's building a meth lab.
yeah, she's breaking bad.
He prefers mushrooms, but
Ria's becoming the new drug lord. She's going to get into a fight with Cithril, like, on the down low.
Oh wait, is that one of the things that Cithral's is doing?
Oh, I was just making it.
Drugs?
Probably not. No, there's not much of a market here because everyone's poor.
Oh my god.
So, all right. Elric kind of just goes about his business for the day. You all work on your downtime projects.
Oh, can I make sure that some tasty treats end up in Eldwin's cells while he's sitting in there? Like,
Sure, you
make sure he's
send
got some nice meals.
you send him some good food.
Wineskin, yeah.
The guards are willing to look the other way because of the group's reputation.
I'll give them some as well. Let me know if I need to pay a little.
It would just be part of the lifestyle stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Lots of tasty goodies and stuff to keep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Takes me to my 5th day for religious service then, Lou.
Yeah. So if it's your 5th day, at the end of the day, we can make a roll on that. What are the benefits of religious service?
I don't remember.
She's like, I'm doing it for, I don't know.
Favors. It's the same. It's 0 favors below a roll of either 5 or 10. I forgot, and then 1 favor and 2 favors and 3 favors.
All right. So give me a what is it? Intelligence, religion, or charisma persuasion.
religion or persuasion?
No, intelligence, religion, or charisma, persuasion. One of those. Yeah, so religion or persuasion. Oof. All
Oh
right.
my god.
Damn.
Oh.
So, uh,
Uh,
yeah, there's been, especially with the rumors of like your party member murdering one of the clergy, your efforts have kind of been soured. And unfortunately, you don't get anything out of this week of helping out. At least not in terms of like a favor or a contact. It's tough luck. Anyone else need to make a roll for anything?
no, not yet.
Okay. So, towards the end of the day, you would receive your summons that there's going to be a trial. Elric, Ophelia, and, well, you assume Blackwater got one. And it's going to take place in 2 days from now.
2 days.
Is it like anyone can attend, or is it closed to those who were not invited?
It's at the town hall, so it's kind of closed, but I mean, being the heroes of town, you could probably make an argument to be there since you're his friend. Definitely the public can't be there. They're not usually present for this sort of thing, especially when it has to do with people of importance.
Could I go speak to Duvall now? Now that I assume, did I get my gold?
Yeah, you got your gold.
Okay. So there's like a church here, right, or something, like a small one? Or...
There's not
Yeah,
a church.
shrine.
There's a shrine.
Okay. Can I look for Father Duvall?
Yeah, so I don't have a new picture for him yet. But if you go to the shrine, you would find Father Duvall kind of finishing up one of his services. He sees you and greets you and says, hello, friend. It's good to... Or wait, actually, no, sorry, you're not Ophelia. He actually wouldn't know you, so he would, as you approach, he gives you a nod and says, did you enjoy the service?
I would be there because I'd be doing my religious service, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Jeez.
Yeah, sure, you could be there as well, helping with the mass. This is after the mass, though.
I just kind of introduced them and just say, yeah, he's become a trusted member of the party.
Says,
Just
oh,
give like a really nice warm handoff before I go back to my religious duties.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't think that was the intent. I think you just told.
says, oh, well, it's nice to meet you, friend. And he smiles
wow.
and
Oops.
goes to shake your hand. You're a part of the nobility, then, yes? I think I recognize your name.
Yes. Sorry, I missed your sermon, Father Duvall. I was actually coming to see if I could seek Paylor's blessing.
Oh, yes, of course. Was there a specific blessing you were looking for, or just a general blessing of good health and fortune?
General blessing of good health and fortune. And I've met Ophelia and the Siege Breakers. Yes, they do seem very nice.
It's the Trinity.
I just said the Siege Breakers.
You just said the Siege Breaker. Yeah.
Wrong
party.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. All right, the Holy Trinity, and they do seem like a great bunch that like to help. But I've actually come to make a donation, if that's okay, Father Duvall.
Says, yes, of course. I mean, the shrine, Paylor's shrine and influence here is small compared to other places. It's one of the reasons I came up here, was to try to increase the influence of Paylor in the outer parts of the Empire. Any money you could offer us would be greatly appreciated.
Maybe
Lord,
can help.
Lord, what's your name? Lord Eldenspell.
I say maybe perhaps I could help you fund a actual church or a larger place of worship, perhaps. And then I pull out two gold bars and I give it to him.
He says, "Wow, this is a very generous donation. Thank you."
Yes, and they're could be more, Father Duval. I assume you've heard that there will be a trial soon for one of the members of.
Give me a insight check.
Oh God. Where is my sheet?
Actually, you would need a check. You know that you are not supposed to talk about this with him. This would be a faux pas.
A what?
A faux pas. You're not supposed to talk about trials.
It's not okay.
Yeah, like it would be like it's bad if he's honest, like unless he's on the down low and like, but even then you probably would want to do this in private if he is, a less honest person. But as someone who's trying to bring justice, you're not supposed to talk to the assumed judge or anyone who might be a judge.
Do you mind if I change it up a little bit then?
Sure.
Okay. I say.
I mean, you could still try, but he might look upon it with.
Let me say this. Yes, it is a generous donation, and I have no problem making it. However, could I speak to you in private about a matter?
Certainly. He says 200 gold pieces is more than very generous, so I would be happy to give you some of my time. And he would just kind of walk over to the side with you. He says, what is it you wish to discuss?
So there is a matter of a potential trial that will be taking place.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. All right.
So his demeanor changes as soon as you mention that, and he says, well, go ahead, roll it first. Let me see what you get. Instead of 12, he says, Lord Eldenspell, this is not appropriate. I assume you've received your summons, but we are not to discuss this.
Oh, I do understand. It's just merely I know that we're going to be on it together. I've never been to these. I was wondering if maybe you could give me guidance.
Sorry. For a moment there, I thought you were trying to bribe me. Yes, of course. I can talk to you a little bit. Actually, give me a deception on that.
Oh.
Ooh.
With my rolls tonight, they have been...
Remember, you can use inspiration if you have it.
Yeah.
The rolls the last 2 sessions.
Oh my God.
You didn't say you were using yeah. No, it's too late now because
No wreck.
I even said you could do it, and then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna roll. So he gives you a very suspicious look at this point. He says, I'm sorry, Lord Eldenspell. I don't think this is appropriate. If you have questions about the trial, I suggest you speak to the mayor. She will...
You're right. Look, my first thought was to come to the church. Knowing that I haven't been in something like this, I would hate to, I don't know, make the wrong decision. But thank you. I came for guidance and the blessing, and merely your opinion. But I understand. You said the mayor it was?
Yes, I think Mayor Asher would be who you'd want to talk to if you have questions. But yes, and thank you again for your donation. But I think if we continued speaking, it would be highly inappropriate.
Oh, I wouldn't want that. Of course not. That's ridiculous. But thank you for your time, Father Duval. I will go...
He just kind of nods. You can tell he's very suspicious now, even with your crappy insight.
Oh no!
But he's being polite about it, giving you the benefit of the doubt.
I walk.
So you want to help me rig this trial, or what? We doing this?
Right. Yeah. I walk
down to clown.
Down to clown.
I walk past the
House rules.
I say it didn't go well, and I just like
didn't go well. I'm out.
Didn't go well.
Abort. Abort. All right. So yeah, he kind of watches you as you leave. Definitely, like, yeah. So
it's all for me.
All right. So go ahead and pay your upkeep for the day, however you're living lifestyle wise.
And then what bonuses do we get our comfort levels at?
It depends on how many days you've been doing them. So
This is 10.
this is 10. So at this point, dealing with most people would probably give you, if you're comfortable, it would give you a +1 to your charisma-based checks. If you,
Just in char?
yeah, in Char, where you're living.
Okay. How do I log that?
Do you all want me to, I'll take the gold out of...
So you could probably just put it in your notes somewhere. There isn't an official place for it. Well, is everyone doing it their own gold, or is like the...
I was gonna do my own.
Okay.
I did my
We
own.
only have...
I'm a
Cool.
broke joke.
Cool. So, Clank will pay, what, 1 gold piece, 2 gold piece for Alwyn?
1 gold piece is the normal if he's living standard. If he's not doing comfortable.
Rhea, Eldwin...
You could just pay him. But
I think Elric's the one who's meant to pay.
that's true. Did you ever pay him, Elric?
I
Yeah,
paid.
he's walking around with 500 like.
I paid.
Yeah, he's got all these gold bars. I'm just peasant over here.
Just
Hold on,
throwing
hold
him
on,
at the
let's go back
clergy.
here. At this point, I paid him 5 days ago, I think.
I don't know.
I
Whatever
remember
arrangement you
made-
two have.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 days ago. Something like that.
Did he take the money?
Yeah,
Alvin?
what was the payment amount?
It was 100 gold pieces. God damn it!
Oh, well
You
then
want
maybe
some
you.
more money, you better start being on my side on things. I'll give you some more money.
All right,
Whereas I
so
knew I hadn't been paid. I don't know you shit.
all right, so you did minus the 100 gold and gave it to him.
It might have been in the
like
time
a while
that
ago. I gave
Alwyn
Ophelia,
popped out for a few weeks.
I gave Ophelia the same, if possible. I gave Ophelia the same amount of money. I gave her 100 gold, and then I gave Alwyn 100 gold.
Yeah, so usually you want to make sure that everyone gets that when you exchange stuff into their inventories. So yeah, I mean, if you actually did pay them, then yeah, you guys would have that money. The
Yeah,
exchange.
My inventory already.
Okay, so yeah, you would have 100 gold then, Alwyn.
Okay, so add that in.
Rhea, do you need room?
No, I paid mine.
Cool.
I rented the room separately with the dice world.
And then you said it was 1 gold piece then, because I can then pay my own.
Yeah, here I'll display the things real quick.
Plank, may I take 47 of the nature components from the inventory?
Take as much as you need. I think you are the only one who uses nature components. You.
190 minus 47. That leaves us with.
So towards the last event, because we're running out of time, but towards the end of the day, at night at the Maplewood Inn, Neil would show up again. He would tell you that Cithril really wants to talk to you whenever you have a moment. She's kind of been in the dark and would like to discuss next steps with the group.
Before it got too late in the day, I would have wanted to ask the group if we should go talk to Cithril or if I should do that on my own.
Yeah, he said that in the chat, so I think
Oh, okay.
there was some plan to do that today.
All right.
Lou,
Yeah.
Lou, I'm paying the 100 gold in refined nature components to begin brewing a potion of greater healing for the 1-day project that I started today.
All right, and if you know other people with herbalism, they can help you with that project. Just FYI.
Oh, like Melody? Doesn't she?
Yeah, so if you want to try to get Melody to help, it'll take less time as you both put a day towards that whenever you work together.
Okay.
But she'd probably be... Well, actually, she's running the shop, so I don't know if she can help
I haven't
you.
really been introduced to her, honestly, except for that brief little bit I was sitting at the table with them today.
True,
Were
so...
you on horse? Were you the horse, or not?
It's true, you were the horse eating hay in the field.
There was a draft horse eating hay in the inn yard. It was not Rhea.
Oh.
All right. Well, but yeah, like for example, if you were able to get Melody to help, you could put 2 days towards a potion instead of one.
Yeah, I mean, like that'd be great, but like, I mean, I don't know. Like, she's probably got stuff to do too, and Rhea hasn't even really like met her, and
All right.
and
Well,
this is just I just want to do something when there's downtime. So that was like,
sure. So
the
you
project.
could go ahead and spend that and start a project on the Google sheet.
Right, which is what
Yeah,
I was
and I'm
saying I would had done. Yeah, I put it
Okay.
on the sheet and I subtracted the 100, and I was just letting
Got
you
it.
know.
Okay. Got it.
and I'm
Put
not
one day
sure
one
what
day
like
two.
a ranger like what my guy could do for downtime activities, where like Ophelia's doing like clergy work and stuff. Like, I
So
just go out back and shoot my bow a whole bunch, or
there's a bunch of different things you could do. A lot of it involves crafting, but there is a list of the downtime activities in the thing here.
okay.
It would really depend on your skills, because certain skills make it more likely to be successful at certain downtime activities. So I'm not sure which skills you are highest in. What are some of your skills that?
Well, stealth is like a 10,
Okay.
perception's 5, animal
But
handling
your
5,
survival is
insight.
super high, right?
Survival's
So
only at a 5.
Oh,
you
I thought you
so
had expertise in that.
so
I do.
stealth
That's a check. Go ahead.
stealth is something that could be used for criminal activities, though I don't think your guy would be into that.
No.
You could try to hire yourself out as like a mercenary around town to make some extra money. Like
Okay.
that would be an example of a downtime activity. Pretty much like anything you could think of, and yeah, like I said, you'd want to do things that your skills would promote.
I
So
would I
yeah,
would say, Alwyn, I have a job for you.
there you go.
Father DeVault has 200 gold. If you get
Gonna steal it back. That is very.
gold bars,
Can
you
we
get the gold
maybe
bars.
hold off the criminal activity
It's
until
heist.
after
Till the
Eldrin's
trial's over?
trial? Yeah, we don't need to make
It's time
any
for a
like-
heist.
I just
That
gave
bat-
him money.
that bastard wasn't bought. I thought I was buying him. It
11.
was a terrible misunderstanding. I want my money back.
Fuck Ocean's
You could
11,
also
I'm
get a
pulling
job
Holy
as a
Trinity
barkeep. Like
6.
you could go ask Vernie if he needs an extra barkeep. If you
Yeah, I mean, you could be creative with it. Generally, like a lot of the things you could do or could be like one of the things in this downtime activity list. Like barkeep would just be work, which I think helps support a certain lifestyle without having to pay for it.
Just rob the church.
Or you could rob the
ask
church.
someone to start training you in a language or in a skill.
Yeah, you could get language training, tool training, not skills, but tools you could train in.
Yeah.
Language
Take a job
proficiencies.
hunting.
Yeah, you could try
Yeah.
to hire yourself out to the town to be like a scout or a hunter.
Let's do that. I like the idea of Alwyn being a hunter for the town, especially using like his stealth, survival, and archery. I think that would be a good fit.
Bring back
So,
some
yeah.
expensive pelts.
I know that we
Pelts and
talked about this.
food and yeah. Sorry, Elric, go ahead.
Well, we talked about this one time. I remember is where whenever we do get the dagger back, part of the contract was that you're going to be paid. You were paid a small percentage up front, and then I gave you, which would have been your starting gold. Hint, hint. As far as that, and then I gave you the 100 as an incentive, and then from there, Lou would decide how much you'd get from Elric's mom, because she's the one who basically held the contract, realistically.
Okay.
So whenever we do that, yeah, you'll probably get a decent amount of money, I think. I don't know, but that's up to Lou.
Yeah, I mean that would be separate from downtime here. So if you're hiring yourself out, you're actually pretty skilled in. What's your passive survival and stealth?
I don't even know what your passive survival is.
It's 10 plus the score, whatever your score is in those.
So where it's got the 5 next to it on survival, then I'd be at 15,
15,
for
yeah.
survival.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And your stealth is 20,
Perception's- Stealth's 20, yeah.
and perception is what?
15.
All right.
Passive.
So this usually requires a roll, but I'll probably say with your skill set, you would get paid pretty well for doing this, and you, if you're doing it, could live here, gaining a comfortable lifestyle. So like you wouldn't be making money, but you don't have to pay your
Upkeep.
expenses if you're doing this.
Okay.
So yeah, we could say like the first night you wouldn't have had to pay anything if you were now working with the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll try to remember that for future reference. Like if we're in town or something, do hunting type activities for them, and then whenever that becomes available, go service Elric's mom.
Whoa. Phrasing. But yeah, we are at time here, so why don't we do MVP votes and we can figure out the trial next time.
I think I lost Elric's vote on that one.
You locked it in. That's what you did.
Sorry, Elduin. I know you're as a criminal, you're not as involved.
That's fine.
I'm involved with your
Hopefully,
mother,
you're
though,
you're still enjoying the story stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess next time we'll do the trial.
I won't be here next week, so.
Oh no!
Ooh.
We'll just let you know if you get hung or not, or hanged.
Oh
Oh
gosh.
no!
No. Oh
I
my
will
gosh.
use my archery to
can't-
shoot the noose. I got you.
Oh, you're probably
Um,
fine.
We'll flee
just-
together.
Yeah, I'll just
He's not allowed to talk during the trial.
I just
Wait,
only
who are we
I'll just
gagging?
say right now, I was thinking like in this session just like have Eldwin leave, but seeing that you guys
Well,
out of
so how about this? What we can do is maybe you'll be in jail for a bit, and we can do the trial next time you're back. How's that sound? Or wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, we can. Yeah, it's fine. We can just. We can do the trial like when I do get back.
Do you want to continue playing the character, or is that an issue, or no, or like what?
No, so I was just gonna say like I was thinking just like leaving Eldon off, but then I just see you guys are like
Oh.
role playing and trying your best to keep him in. I'm like, I'll just keep him in a little longer.
I mean,
Okay.
do you not
And-
enjoy playing Elduin?
At this point, yes. I'll be honest.
Is it just because of the? I mean, we could also talk about this outside of game.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a discussion?
I mean,
Yeah.
If you want to make another Kanku artificer, Plank needs a twin.
There you go.
at the end of the day, you gotta play what you gotta
Right.
have fun. Like this is all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
fun. So don't
Yeah.
play you're not having fun with. I mean, I've done
Yeah.
that. It was rough. So
I mean, like, I think in character we might still try and make sure that he doesn't end up on the gallows. But at the same time, like, if you want to bring in a new character, we can absolutely.
By all
you
means.
know.
of course,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's-
Well, let me get your vote for MVP, Elduin, and yeah, we can have a discussion about that.
Okay.
Do what